championship game, Grambling and Williams go for their first back-to-back championships in over 20 years. Their opponents, the Alabama State Hornets, who handed Grambling their only loss of the season. Alabama State's high-powered offense is led by SWAC Player of the Year, quarterback Darnell Kennedy. Can Kennedy and Alabama State get 2 in a row over Grambling, or can Grambling defend their SWAC championship? It is time to get busy. That's because the SWAC Conference Championship game is next on BET. BET presents the 2001 Southwestern Athletic Conference Championship from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. It's the Grambling State Tigers, champions of the West, taking on the beasts of the East, the Alabama State Hornets. Well, if you're a member of the SWAC, this is what it's all about. No playoff appearances, no bowl appearances, just the SWAC championship, which is not too bad. You come home with this trophy right here, and of course, bragging rights throughout the next season. Hello, everybody. My name is George Johnson. Those bragging rights this past year belonged to Grambling State, and they did a good job protecting their turf. It looked like they were going to run the table until they ran into a speed bump on November 3rd when they played their opponents today, Alabama State. In front of 13,000 folks, they had lead after 2 quarters of play. But the Hornets would counter behind their quarterback, Darnell Kennedy, who threw for 423 yards and 5 touchdowns in a game in which we saw 8 touchdown passes and over 1,000 total yards. The Williams said Alabama State made too many big plays in the loss, but they're ready for this contest.
Well, the key to win this football game is not to let them make the big plays like they made on us last time. They made some awful big plays on us, and it hurt us, and we still lost by 7 points. And I think if we don't let them make the plays that they made last time, we got a good opportunity to win the football game.
Obviously, Doug Williams is very excited about coming into this one. After all, his team is still ranked #1 in all black college football. With that, I bring in my broadcast partner, the former All-American quarterback from Syracuse University, who right now is in quarterback heaven. That's because you're going to see 2 of the most exciting quarterbacks in the conference, one of them coached by one of the great quarterbacks of all time, and Doug Williams. The kid we're talking about is Randy Himes.
And Randy Himes is a quarterback with outstanding talent as an athlete, but it was his quarterback numbers last week at IU Classic that gave his team birth to the championship game. 330 yards passing. He did it with his arm. But it didn't come without a price. He suffered a high ankle sprain in the ball game, and he will wear a brace today. It's going to cut down on some of his mobility as you take a look at his left ankle. But he has some help on the offensive line. Larry Matavia and William Jackson, both of these guys were named to the All-SWAC team earlier this week.
Well, now we know Grambling State has a good offense. What about that defense? In the beginning, first 7 games, they are allowing opponents just 12 points per contest. But the last 3, they've upped it. They're allowing 28 points per game, putting a lot of pressure on those linebackers and those secondary players.
It certainly does, but they have a good defense. And Robert Taylor, the man in the middle, is a prototype middle linebacker. Calvin Spears, 4-time All-SWAC selection. They're going to have hands full today.
Meanwhile, when you talk about Alabama State, you talk about a team that is very potent offensively. The reason being is they have the SWAC Player of the Year and Darnell Kennedy, maybe the most prolific passer we've seen in Division I AA since Steve Air McNair.
I think Darnell Kennedy is the most underappreciated quarterback in all of college football. You look at his career numbers, most important is that 55% completion percentage. He spreads the ball around and has some tremendous wide receivers, most notably DJ Floyd Tiger. This guy averages almost 20 reception, and he is outstanding at catch.
Also defensively, Alabama State going to have their hands full trying to stop Hines. Elsie Cole says that his linebacking crew has been riddled with injuries. We may see as many as 5, 6, 7 different players playing linebacker, but one guy is healthy and will be key, and that's Earl Cochran.
And Earl Cochran is a guy with outstanding talent and speed. He's a rangy, tall, lanky linebacker who, when we saw him in the Magic City Classic, was all over Alabama A&M. He's going to have his hands full trying to get to Himes today.
Last week, Alabama State had their 8-game winning streak snapped by Tuskegee. At the end of the ball game, Earl Cochran said, "We didn't feel focused in that one." That was because there was a lot of controversy in the air between the head coach, Elsie Cole, and the university. There was talk that he may not be back, but this morning we find out that he has just signed a brand new 5-year deal with the school. He's going to be here for quite some time. Now, he can focus on the ball game, and so can the club. This is what he had to say to his troops before today's opening tip.
We gave the game away. We owe the offense, man. We owe the offense. You get out there and shut them down. Shut them down, man. That's run or pass. Shut them down. Understand me. Understand me now. Hey, one thing is this, guys.
Today's Southwest Airlines Football Classic is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the low-fare leader for 30 years, and by Budweiser, with the crisp, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer.
McPherson, we're up in the booth, but we also have a third member of our broadcast group, and that is our own Joe Claire standing by on the sideline. Joe, we got it.
I got everything, George. Thanks for throwing it down here to me. Now, everybody's watching this game. Expect the Grambling. You know they're the big team, the big name. They got the Burger King commercial and everything. They expect Grambling to come in here and just tear these people up. But ASU, I got to go to the practice yesterday and see how they rally around Darnell Kennedy. This boy is amazing. They love him. They follow him. And if you look at the statistics of career SWAC passing, all-time leaders, he's ranked number 3, right above Doug Williams, who he's going against today. So I think we in for a treat, man. That's you up top, George.
All right, thank you very much, John. You talk about Doug Williams. There is in his 4th season here at Grambling, 31-13, 70% of the games he has coached in. He has won here with the Tigers. Prior to that, he spent a year at Morehouse as a head coach. But he brings a wealth of experience here to the Tigers, and they really are going to want to have him around for quite some time. Talking about L.C. Cole signing the brand new contract. Doug Williams, you know, Don, here in his 2 more years left in his contract, but they want to secure him for a lot longer.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Doug Williams brings so much experience and talent to this Grambling program. They definitely want to lock him in.
So we are underway here. Sean Holmes for Alabama State takes the kickoff, finds a hole, and gives on its great field position right away outside the 35-yard line. A 30-yard return for Sean Holmes. Let's take a look now at our starting quarterback coming off the field, and that is Darnell Kennedy, the senior from Mobile, Alabama, 6', 180-pounder. And right away, they're going to start things off out of huddle down. They're going to try to make some things happen offensively and keep Grambling State off guard. 1st and 10 for Kennedy, your SWAC player of the year. It was the 2nd leading passer in the conference. And he's looking to show you what early on, a receiver downfield. Oh, by B.J. Tiger! The play of the game! Touchdown Alabama State! 60-yarder!
B.J. Tiger, after his catch, made something happen. That time he got a little something over Johnson's catch.
The pass was intended for Eugene Johnson, but B.J. Tiger was Johnny on the spot, took the spin, 61-yard touchdown play.
The old expression, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And this time, B.J. Tiger worked hard to get him some in place.
Thomas Elms with the extra point.
He's placed to make something lucky happen. And this is exactly what Alabama State did in the first contest. They jumped on top early, and this offense has so many different weapons. They can make it happen all day long. And that's Brown, and he's a 2nd team on SWAC, number 19, the corner. He's the conference in interception, so he was right positioned to make something happen. But Kennedy and his boys got it once again.
In that first contest you're talking about, the 3rd play of the ball game, it was a pass from Darnell Kennedy to Eugene Johnson for 77 yards. This one goes for 61. And Alabama State, just like that first meeting, up early, 7-0.
Well, that was the plan, to get to Johnson for another long game, but some good defense down the field. Great time by the offensive line. And that's 19 Brown there. He leads confidence in interception, makes a nice defensive play, but what he didn't expect was B.J. Tiger trailing the play in the old tip drill.
Coming into the contest, Darnell Kennedy needed 83 yards passing to pass Neil Lomax. Passing career yards in Division I AA. He picked up a big chunk of it on that one right there, 61 yards. So back now to receive the kick. It's Grambling State. And look at the return right there is DJ Clay. Clay stops short of the 20-yard line. The Hornets fight defensively and on special teams.
Yeah, so in special teams, it's such a home set, and you get a chance to see how these 2 teams have responded from last week's game. So right now, Alabama State looks like they're coming out with a little bit of fire after that loss to Tuskegee.
Meanwhile, Randy Himes is coming off a victory against Southern University, in which he was the MVP. He'll be the quarterback for the Grambling Tigers. 4th in SWAC in passing yards, total yards, also 4th in passing efficiency. He's the senior from Houston, Texas. Great size, 6'4", 100-pounder.
He's just he might be a Randall Cunningham. He's a smooth athlete with a really unpredictable, strong arm.
So his time's up, 1st and 10. Gonna give it to his fullback, Brad Hill. And Hill picks up good yards. Now take a look at our Budweiser starting lineup, brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. James Thomas, Batavia is a all-SWAC former Riley, and William Jackson also first all-SWAC. Brad Hill, one of the better running backs in the conference, 2nd in the conference in rushing. Levi Washington and Ellis Spears, dangerous receivers on the outside for Randy Hines. 2nd down now, and let's make it 3. And they'll stay on the ground and get to their big running back, Brad Hill. And all last week we kept hearing about the fact that he wants to be seen as the boss, a kind of a big running back. And he has that capability. We now go to our Budweiser starting lineup on defense. Keith, one of the leading tacklers on this team. Wilcox, Richard Malone, and Earl Cochran. They see him as a right end. He's really like a linebacker. Walker and Smith both have nagging injuries. I don't know how much they'll play. Dilworth, Hill, Sanders, and Roger K, the quarterback's defense, is your free safety, number 19. So here we are, 1st and 10. The Grambling State Tigers, ball just shy of the 40. This time it's Hill trying the middle, and Leonis Williams and for Al Walker at that middle linebacker spot makes the big time. He's the junior from Mobile.
You know, if you go back a week to Bayou Classic, Grambling came out and didn't run a run play in the first 2 of the series, and now they come out and that's all they do. I think a big reason why is they want to get Hill going. They know this is going to be a shootout. They want to start grounding out and realize that they can get a run game going in this ball game.
You don't want to get in a shootout with the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year at Darnell Kennedy.
Exactly right.
He picked up 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. They give it to Hill again, and Hill continues to try to pick up some yards in that defensive secondary. This time, coming to make the tackle, was Ronald Dillon, the strong safety.
And George, for both of these teams, what they must do is contain the opponent's running attack. You have Hill and Bynes, 2 outstanding running backs, and then 3rd down conversions. That's going to make a big difference in this ball game. Of course, Alabama State will pass on 3rd down. So far, looks like they're going to try to run it here at 3rd and 1.
Pick up a 5 for Hill. That makes it 3rd down 1, as Don just said. I formation still. This time they give it to the up back. That's your fullback for Grambling State, Jadal Lawrence, and Lawrence is going to be close to another 1st down. A good look. And Doug Williams,
Watch your ball, watch your ball.
head coach for this club, Grambling. Grambling State 98 when they were 5-6, then coached them to a 7-4 record in 99. And last year they were 10-2, SWAC champions. This year you see the numbers. They did get 1st down, balls marked at midfield. Again, I formation. This time Hines going to take it. Hines going to throw it, and good defensive pressure by Alabama State. Robert Malone, number 86, one of the play back there, and also Earl Cochran, number 9.
And again, this is going to be the difference in the pass rush because both these teams like to get a bucket in their first pass attempt with play action. Miller and Malone are able to come to the backside.
7th play of this drive as you get a good look at Robert Malone, the senior from Pritchard, Alabama. They picked up, obviously there was an incomplete pass, so it's 2nd down now and 10. Hines, this time to Shanklin. Shanklin's still on his feet. Shanklin inside 30. Finally dragged to about the 20-yard line. Big-time play for Kendrick Shanklin, a 21-yard pickup for the senior from Baton Rouge.
And Doug Williams really likes this kid Shanklin. He's just such an exciting receiver who can play a little bit of running back. He's a great return man, which tells you he's great in open space. He's got some good blocking out there, but watch the way he picks and weaves his way through open space. Outstanding in the open field.
Cade finally makes the tackle, but not until picks up 21 yards. The 6 says 4th down. Should change it. It is 1st down inside 30. Shanklin this time going to take the handoff off from behind in the backfield and pick up maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Shanklin, a transfer from the University of Kentucky. has already paid huge dividends for Williams' offense.
Especially in the special teams, he's the reason why the Williams special teams have really stepped up this season.
He is one of the best returning in the conference, but now serving as a tailback after watching Brad Hill pick up some substantial yards as Friday began. Sit down and 8 after two picked up. Goes outside, and his pass is complete to number 5, Tremont Douglas.
Get the sense that Doug Williams is trying to obviously control the tempo of the ball game. Alabama State comes out with the big plays, so Doug Williams is trying to slow things down with the run game, short passing game. But talking to Ronnie Cole, the offensive coordinator for Alabama State yesterday, talked about Doug Williams and said he's very unpredictable. He'll always come out and do something that you're not expecting.
38% on third down conversions this year. That's third best in the SWAC of Grambling State. This time they're going to come up short. Good play by the Hornet defense.
Again, we talked about plays on third down, and this becomes a very big third down conversion. Excuse me, fourth down now for Grambling.
Well, they love to go for it on fourth. I mean, they are now 10 of 15 on fourth down conversions this year. That's best in the conference at 67%.
And that's a lot of attempts on fourth down. That tells you something about Doug Williams.
Brad Hill's your deep back in the I formation. They get to him. And boy, he got popped, but I think he got the first down. Alabama State had a hard time plugging at that hole. By the time Jamie Graham got there, the linebacker, it looked like he may have gotten the steam he needed for the first.
Yeah, and he'll get this on second effort. He took a hit, took a hit right there, and was able to keep his feet moving. As they tell every back, always keep your feet moving through the tackles.
You see L.C. Cole.
Play action pass.
And we do have a microphone on Coach Cole for this contest, so we'll be going down to the field a lot to hear what he has to say as the Hornets look for their first SWAC championship. First and 10, ball is at the 18-yard line for the Tigers. Himes is on throw. Himes at receiver. Himes in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Pass intended for Ellis Spears, looked like he had it and then dropped it.
Spears had that ball in his hand, and Yvonne Butler did not do what defensive backs are taught to do, which is when you see a receiver's eyes go up, your eyes turn around and find the football. Butler didn't locate the football. It's fortunate that Spears just flat out dropped it.
12 plays so far on this drive, as it is now second down and 10, and they're taking a lot of time off the clock. Time possession in the conference belonged to Graham State. They led the conference. They try inside of the defense, and the Hornets are waiting for them. That's Leonis Williams again. Williams and Graham are the guys that talk about linebacker-wise who are going to have to play because of the injuries to Walker Smith, and they've done a good job so far.
They have done a good job, and they're the full because that's what Grambling is going to try to do, is stuff the ball, stuff the run game. That's kind of gang tackling that Alabama is going to need in the game to stop Hill.
You also see number 54, Jamal Fletcher, the sophomore. He also went on the tackle. This is his first start. He's starting in the SWAC championship.
L.C. Cole talked about the injuries to his linebackers, and these young guys have to step up. And you're right, in a big game, in the championship game, there's no time for evaluation when you're a player. You have to go out and perform.
Alabama State coming off that loss to Tuskegee, looking for a victory and have the lead.
Y'all came to me up, show everybody what's up, right? I'm trying to tell y'all, it's crunk down your ASU, baby. I'm telling y'all, they came to play ball. They not faking. Look at the yard up top. I'm going to see you holler at the chick.
How come that doesn't surprise me?
Everybody's championship form today.
Joe always seems to find ways to beat. So here we are back at Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama. George Johns along with Don McPherson and Joe Claire, who you just saw. SWAC championship game. Grambling State trailing early Alabama State. 7-0 thanks to a 60-yard touchdown from Darnell Kennedy to B.J. Tiger. And Grambling State tried to answer for the pass intended for Levi Washington into the end zone, overthrown. That will make it now third down.
Overthrown, and Levi Washington had coverage over the top and underneath without a wise throw for Himes.
And correct that, it's now fourth down, which gives us an opportunity to see one of the better kickers in all Division I AA, and Brian Morgan, who's going to attempt a 37-yard field goal. His kick is up and it is good, and on the season now, he is 18 for 25. Brian Morgan, just a freshman from Grove, Texas, puts the Tigers on board. They trail 7-3. Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, where Alabama State came into today's contest with a record 8-3, 6-1 in conference play, taking on Grambling State for the championship. The third annual SWAC championship game. We had the first two here on BET. Proud to bring you the third. So here comes Alabama State. And on the return, they'll get close to the 30-yard line. Return by Keith Tisdale. So 7-3 Alabama State with the football. We'll be back right after this. It's a SWAC championship here on BET. And you can see our Budweiser starting lineup for the offense. McCauley and Tango's a good offensive tackle. First team SWAC. So was Lloyd Carlton, who is the center. Your backs, Larry Bias, who led the conference. Rushing, David Hunley, really been hurt. You'll see other running back there, Floyd Tiger, Eugene Johnson, receivers, and Chris Holman really has developed into a big-time tight end here in the conference. Marcus Holbert was considered a better tight end for the last 2 years, but this year, Coleman, who unseated was first-team All-SWAC. Holbert was second-team selection.
Yeah, and this one wide out said they had a lot of nerve calling him a tight end.
So here's Kennedy, shotgun, first and 10, the 29, and to get rid of it, and does. Gets it outside to his wide receiver, B.J. Tiger, and Tiger picks up about 11 yards on the play. A look now to Budweiser's lineups for the defense. Johnson, Lawrence, Willie Gray's a good one. So is Mark Hall. Linebackers for Grambling. In the middle, you better keep your eyes on Robert Taylor. He can play. Terrence Dukes, though, really has developed into a good little player. Also, your defensive back, Calvin Spears, is the Cal Ripken for Grambling State. He has started every ball game since he got here and has never left the field for this club. Truly a great one. And the first player in Grambling State history to be All-SWAC all 4 years he played here. A phenomenal feat by Mr. Calvin Spears.
And you talk about a Grambling team that has sent so many years into the NFL. That is an amazing accomplishment.
First and now and 15 after penalty, plus to Alabama State. Kennedy rolls. Kennedy look outside for his wide receiver, and a flag comes flying in at about the 40-yard line, and Tiger is clapping his hands like it was pass interference.
And it may be Kennedy made a great decision rolling out. He had a man early, but he saw the coverage begin to change, and he pulled back. And I think that's when he got the pass interference call, because when he did release it, he saw that Grambling secondary
interference or defense, penalty force at the spot of the foul. Automatic foot down.
That Grambling defense getting very aggressive in the secondary. They like to come up. This time, a little bit of push on the shoulder. Not much for pass interference, but all the has to see is an extended arm.
And that was Chris Brown, number 19, who put his arm out. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's one of the better ones. Leads the conference in interceptions. Here's Kennedy now. Looking for a receiver. Rolling to his right. Throwing deep downfield. Oh, the pass is incomplete. Denmark Reed was your defender. Eugene Johnson was the intended receiver. But Reed is a very good defensive back and made the play.
And Reed did exactly what free safety is supposed to do. Stay as deep as the widest receiver, and he just kept going back deep, playing center field, and after getting burned that first play of the game, I don't see Reed coming up too close to the line for quite some time.
Here's Kennedy. They weren't calling any huddles. They're still going. Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. For a special player, this Darnell Kennedy. Everybody on the coaching staff knows this. He was trying to get away from pressure and was able to get rid of it. I talked about the fact that he's very special, and he has seen that with the eyes of his own head coach, L.C. Cole.
As a young man, I have a little son, wishing to be just like it. And I'm not just saying it, but this young man been through a lot of adversity. He's been through 3 different head coaches, 3 different offenses, and had put up the numbers constantly, year in and year out. And I think he's a great leader here, and all the kids here respect him. And, to me, he's the best quarterback in the state of Alabama.
High praise stories from his head coach who said that when he was at Cincinnati, he tried to recruit Darnell Kennedy and then finds out that a couple years later he runs into him as his head coach at Alabama State.
I agree with him. I think Darnell Kennedy is a special quarterback and a guy who hasn't been invited to the Blue-Gray game, but I think someone that the Blue people really need to look at getting him involved in that ball game.
Second down and 20. Darnell Kennedy. Sanders goes in motion. Kennedy roll left, has a wide receiver. That is Sanders. Sanders gets it outside for one, drop the football.
They'll blow it down.
Whoa! Oh, Billy.
It's a good thing we have that review.
I don't know if he fell on the ground before that thing came out of his hand.
It was a quick whistle, and it definitely will go in Alabama State's favor.
Mayshawn Sanders, the dude from Montgomery, the one who made the catch, but wait, he looked like he lost that football before he hit the ground, though.
It was very close. He takes a hit almost on the ball, protects it well. The ball's out. That is fumble.
So here we are now on third down, and they give it inside the Bias, but we have another flag on the play, so they're going to whistle it dead. It was 3rd and 9, and it's offsides and charged to Grambling State. So now they get 2 breaks on that play. Looked like they fumbled the football, got close to a first down, and picked up more yards.
You know, I get the sense this is not the game that Doug Williams wants. He doesn't want a lot of distractions. Doesn't want a lot of crazy things going on. Probably one of the reasons why he came out with that run game early in the ball to try to control the tempo.
So after the penalty, it'll be now 3rd down and make it 4 yards to go for a first. Kennedy continues to be the shotgun. His Bias is the setback with him. Again, another whistle. And on our way over here, Don, you and I were talking, and I told you, I said, these are the 2 most penalized teams in the conference.
Third down.
They average both over 100 yards per game penalty-wise. I mean, we could be in for a very long game when you throw in the fact that they also throw the football every play.
Absolutely. And I think what led to that penalty is something that Alabama State should expect. They saw a zone blitz coming. They had blitzing defensive backs as they're doing this play.
This time they dump it off to Bias. Bias makes the catch, but is immediately met by Dante Newell after picking up maybe a yard, so that'll set up a 4th down, and they'll be forced to punt.
And Graham stayed in that same defensive set. They brought one of the defensive backs, the nickel back from one side and from the other side, and they forced Darnell Kennedy to throw the ball hot, getting Taylor to tackle on Bias at the line of scrimmage.
The leading punter in the conference, Beckford, number 10, is going to get averaging 45 yards per punt, but the leading return man, Kendrick Shaw, is back there to receive the punt. Waiting it goes into the end zone. Another big-time punt for Beckford, close to 60 yards. I'll have the exact number when I get back to Legion Field. Welcome back to the SWAC Championship, where head coach Chelsea Cole of Alabama State talked about the fact that he had some players with some nag injuries at the linebacker position. And you have to rely on some guys that don't have enough experience, and yet you look at some of these guys that are playing real well.
Lance Williams, number 51, has stepped up the game in the middle with the injury to Al Walker. This guy has been counted on big so far to stop the running game and Hill.
You got him and Jamie Graham, number 30, also in that inside spot. Both of them did not start the season as starters. As they go to Hill, making the stop defensively again was Williams. Getting a little help from home, but boy, the onus has been active.
And he really has been active. He has no choice because Grambling has kept the ball on the ground. Something that I'm sure that Alabama State was not expecting. And Williams has had to step up. I'm sure they'll bring him in there. They're expecting pass, so they'll bring in an extra defensive back right now and an extra guy in the pass rush.
Yes. It's now 2nd down for Grambling State. They lost maybe 2 yards on that play. Brad Hill not used to going backwards. Ellis Spears is your lone receiver to the left of Randy Hines. He's got Shanklin in the backfield and gives it to Shanklin on a delayed ball. Shanklin with a flag right in front of him, slips and falls at about the 32-yard line, but if you go back about 7 yards, you'll see a flag lying down on the 24. And you see the flag run right, it flies right in front of him. He's running.
You know, when you're a running back and you see a flag fly in front of
you, you just give up, huh?
What happened now? It looks like in a position for holding.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, spot foul, to keep it down.
You know, I'm very curious why Doug Williams has come out of the ball game and has focused so much on the run game. He hasn't even allowed his quarterback not to get into any kind of rhythm, something that you want a quarterback to get into very early, especially in a big game. Get the jitters out. But now behind him, there's a little bit of a push right there. Nice little takedown to give you a hold of the ball just about every time.
They lose 5 yards on that, so that makes it now 2nd down and 16. Hines throws. Hines completes his pass.
That's exactly the rhythm that I'm talking about. He's giving him a chance to throw the ball all time to receivers coming back to him. That's a really important thing to be able to see a wide receiver's numbers.
And a receiver we haven't seen a whole lot from lately, DJ Clay, is the one who made the catch. They've got so many receivers on this team. It's kind of interesting that we saw that Randy Hines had to play receiver the last time these two teams met.
Like I said, Doug Williams will do things that you don't expect.
So here's Hines now, handing it off to Shanklin on 3rd down and 11. Shanklin maybe picks up 2 yards on the play. That's going to force, actually 3rd down and 1, excuse me. They were close to first. Shanklin picks up first. So Grambling State holds on to the football. 3:15 and counting here in our first quarter. Alabama State jumped on top very quickly, 23 seconds into the game. Quick. Those 61 yards touchdown play. But here comes Grambling State trailing 7-3. Hines, pass is complete to his wide receiver, Ellis Spears. And Spears is close to another 1st down. Spears is the senior from Zachary, Louisiana, hometown of Doug Williams.
And speaking of Doug Williams, before the game, talked about big plays. He said Randy Hines is a big play receiver. Ellis Spears, big play guy. We saw it in the Bayou. But so far, what he's done is just the opposite. He's come out with ball control. We talked about 3rd down conversions. His team has been very efficient on 3rd down, mostly in the run game. And right there on the 1st down, first down pass I think we've seen so far in this ball game.
So here's Hines again, still in the shotgun. Shanklin's the lone setback with him. Pass is tipped up into the air. It looked like Fletcher got a hand on it.
Yeah, Fletcher was there, Graham was there. There was a whole bunch of white checks there, and Hines had no business throwing that football, trying to force it in to his inside receiver. Once again, he's trying to get something going in this pass game. He got his inside man, but you see Fletcher, 54, just close on the pass. Not a smart throw by Hines.
And they're excited here about Grambling State, ranked 5th in USA Today in Division I AA, 7th in the Sports Network. Pass incomplete on 2nd down. And we have another flag on the field.
And Grambling's going to get here from the officials. Pass interference called against Graham, the linebacker. Getting a little aggressive on the inside receiver. Graham's number 30. He's going to come into the screen right there. He's going to get a little push on Clay, and that's just enough for the penalty. The ball was high. That ball could have gone either way because that ball, I don't think, for Clay was catchable.
15 yards in the previous spot. 1st down.
When I tried to analyze the fact that both teams are most penalized teams in the league, and yet 2 other teams. What is that? What is that because they're always trying to make play?
Well, exactly. They're both very good teams. A lot of time on the field.
Watch the draw.
But both teams have explosive offense, and that's why they got me.
Here's Hines now. The pocket closes down on him, and he is dragged down for a sack.
There's the man Cochran we talked about in the opening. He's the guy got a nice uphill push, but it was Miller that came in from the other side and was able to get the sack on Hines.
Quarter starting to wind down here at Legion Field. Under 2 minutes left. Alabama State has the lead. Grambling State on 2nd down and 15. The pass is intercepted by Shamarcus Wilcox. It's a 4 sophomore from Mobile. Makes the interception and stops that Tiger drive.
Shamarcus Wilcox, people saying watch the screen, watch the draw, which means don't watch the passer as aggressively as you normally do. That time he did very little, and Hines put the ball right in his chest.
For Hines, his 11th interception of the season, and it gives Alabama State good field position inside. Have some pretty good defensive backs. I don't know if they counted on Marcus Wilcox being one of them.
Well, Wilcox right in the middle of your screen. He sees the screen real early, so he doesn't rush the passer at all. That is just a defensive lineman's dream. You don't have to rush the passer and get an interception.
Play pass, big boy. Your eyes on the light up.
That's right.
They faked the inside shovel pass this time. It was intended for the tight end, Coleman, but it didn't quite get to him. Going back to that interception, though, they had run that delayed play over the middle before the Shankland. They probably were waiting for that.
They were waiting for it. And you heard the Ohio State coach talking about watch the screen, watch the draw. That's a change-up that Graham has used a lot. Defensive linemen, they get used to that. They get used to the tempo, how offensive linemen come off the ball. So they were laying for that play.
You see Himes' numbers. Complete 40% of his passes early on. Here's Kennedy with a flag. He's going to get out of trouble, get rid of the football, and it is almost intercepted by Robert Tate. It was intended for a Tiger, but I got a feeling the offensive line was holding.
Well, yeah, it should definitely be a holding call. I mean, it was clearly obvious, but you got a chance to see a little bit of the athleticism.
Hold it, 6-6.
They talking numbers. Not allowed to talk numbers in college, huh?
Football.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, free spot, second down.
He doesn't know we have a mic. He can't tell on Mr. Brown like that.
You're not allowed to do that in college.
Like we got moms and dads at home. They have to go back to campus,
fight
man.
you to the
he has to go back to campus. Who's coming back to campus? You're calling his name out on TV like that.
Second down now and 10. Eugene Johnson, your long receiver, over to the right, but this time they go over the middle. The pass is complete to Tiger, and Tiger gets close to the original line of scrimmage.
We talked about Tiger before the game, his ability after the catch, but that was just a standing catch with the hands. Young wide receivers, you hear about catching the ball with your hands. Look at that catch with his hand. Caught the tail end of that football. And this is why he's making the catch. He just did not want to go down.
Alabama State this year has converted 49% of their third down opportunities. That's best in the conference. And it's third down now. And 11. 27 seconds left here and counting in our first quarter. Kennedy open, finds Coleman, touchdown on his feet. Coleman inside the 30-yard line. And that should be good enough for the first down. Chris Coleman, the junior, has really developed into a good receiver for Alabama State.
He really has. After a short little block, he'll just leak out into the flat here. Massey, number 11, has a chance to stop him for the first down. But Coleman, a little move to get around that for the first down.
6'2", 200-pounder. Had 7 receptions coming. Or actually, excuse me, he's 6'3", 235. I'm reading someone else's numbers. Actually, 2 touchdown receptions in the first between these two teams.
Like I said, in this spread out offense, you have a lot of nerve calling to the tight end, but he will stay in the block. And I have seen already in this ball game, he's taking on some outside linebackers.
5 seconds left here in the first quarter. And it's like Kennedy's going to let the clock run out as we come to the end of first quarter play. So we've played 1 quarter here in our SWAC championship game. Alabama State leads 7-3. Be back with more right after this.
For a limited.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Back here at Legion Field, George Johnson along with Don McPherson as Grambling State trails in this one 7-3, and we thought coming in that Grambling State would throw the football, but you're surprised they've kept it on the ground.
10 carries so far in this game. What they've done is really control the tempo of this ball game. It's only a 7-3 ball game. We expected a shootout.
But now we're going to see Alabama State and see what they can do offensively as they have great field position against Grambling State. Inside the 30-yard line is now 1st and 10 for Darnell Kennedy, the SWAC of the year, number 4. He got a couple of horses on an offensive line as they look to try to extend their lead against the Tigers. Here's Kennedy. Good blocking. Close to a first down carry as he carries it down to about the 19-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 18-yard line. He'll be shy of a first down by 1.
That's a good decision by Darnell Kennedy. Didn't see what he got downfield. He's a guy who loves to throw the football, but needed to be encouraged to take the ball down and run. As you look at his sprint passing numbers, he just passed Neil Lomax of Portland State. So many people know Neil Lomax from his tremendous NFL career. Darnell Kennedy's another kid who wants that same shot.
This time they hand it off inside to Larry Bias. Bias picks up little no yards on the carry. You talk about Darnell Kennedy. He's the second leading rusher on his football team, averaging 5 yards per carry. His longest run, though, just 23 yards. So when he does run, I would assume it's really because someone is covered.
And it has to be wide open. As the guy, L.C. Cole says, they have to urge him to leave the pocket run. He likes, you see his numbers, just passing Neil Lomax. He likes to throw the ball down the field.
3rd down and 2. Fake the inside handoff. Time will run. First down for Kennedy. He dives for extra yards out to the 6-yard line. Well, that may have been the time play for Kennedy to get the first down.
Well, he had 2 things happening at the same time. He had the fake draw there, and then that's Brown right in front of him. Doesn't really give him a block, but he was supposed to give him a block, which means it could have been a designed run for him to take off right away.
Is that where the coach is saying, son, maybe you should start holding?
That's right.
Do something.
Hit somebody.
But he got the first down, that is Kennedy. So first down, the only receiver on the field now is B.J. Tiger. And he split in as they give it inside to Bias. And Bias picks up about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Talking about both run games having stepped up. This is a chance for Alabama State's run game to match what Grambling has done.
Come on. So here's Tiger again to the right as they're going with that big offensive line, double tight ends. They get a Bias again. Bias working his way inside closer to the goal line. Alexis Robinson, number 56, looked like the guy around Bias's leg on the play.
And they're definitely trying to get Brown, number 66, the big man right there. He's just going to follow the man into the hole. They're trying to redeem himself after that. Getting his name mentioned on the television.
Picked up another 3 yards. Here we are, 3rd down and goal. And the Tigers really have to step it up. They want to keep the Hornets in the end zone. This time the outside Bias. Nothing doing, as Terrence Duke said. Don't come running in my territory.
Talked about these linebackers, the linebacker play, stopping teams on 3rd down and stopping the run game.
Andre Arnold also out there, 95, but Duke lowers that.
Duke came in, and Arnold finished him off. Big deep stop for Grambling.
So Morgan will come in, do the field goal. This one from 18 yards out, kick is up, and it is good. They're almost automatic. That was actually Thomas Elms, the freshman from Morgan, who connects on the field goal to extend Alabama State lead to 7. To extend their lead to 10-3 as we are in the 2nd quarter. Let's go back down the field where Joe Claire standing by with a report. Joe.
It's interesting watching a winning team in a losing situation. Doug Williams got his team. He's using the desperation that a player feels when he's losing to turn that energy around and start turning it into some touchdowns and some scores. So we should see an interesting rest of this quarter and 2nd half. Back you guys on top.
Thank you, Joe. And when you think of Doug Williams and all the experience he brings, you talked about it. I mean, how many guys would go from being MVP at the Super Bowl to coaching at their high school years later and working his way up, assistant at Navy, also served as a head coach in various capacities, even a scout in the NFL, and finally at home here at Grambling State.
It really is a credit to the type of work ethic that Doug Williams has and his feeling and his need to go through channels and go through the system. And he brings that high school experience, coaching experience to the college. I think it's outstanding.
Grambling State coming back on the return, and that was Eric Wallace, who returns the football outside 20 to the 22-yard line. And that's where Grambling State will take over 1st and 10 as they trail by 7. Teams tie conference for the low points scored for contest at 37 a game. We're not getting that kind of scoring in this one.
No, this is the kind we expected. High flying, long passes, big plays by Tiger. But this is what we got. Field goals. And more field goals.
A 37-yarder by Brian Moore, followed by an 18-yarder by Thomas Elms. By the way, both field goal kickers in this ball game, freshmen, going to be around sometime for both clubs. But now Grambling State trailing by 7 has the football. 1st and 10. Hines is going to throw the ball. Gets it. This man coming out of the backfield. That's Tremont Douglas, actually the wideout with the catch. As he picks about 5 yards on the play, makes it 2nd down.
Hey, Fletcher! Down the tight end. Same thing.
Yeah, Cole telling his line, Fletcher, to get a jam on the tight end. Don't let him release right away.
Tight end.
Second down for Hines. Over the middle. And Spears came up with it, but it looked like it may have touched the turf first. It'll be incomplete. Now to get third down now and 5.
Hines seems to be, he's definitely a rhythm quarterback. You have to get into the motion. This time he does not step into this pass. He has Spears wide open. He needs to complete those passes to get his rhythm.
You saw him last week in the Bayou Classic. What is the difference between today as opposed to last week? Well, it was unbelievable.
I think that the difference is he started throwing the ball early in the Bayou Classic and got his rhythm, got some punch. Right now in the run game, he has no rhythm.
Third down for Grambling State. Hines running. Pass is complete, but they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds before he got rid of the football at the 20-yard line. So a big break for Alabama State because that could have first down.
Yeah, and Hines is definitely a quarterback that needs to get his rhythm. Alabama State doing a nice job right now when they're in pass formations to put some pressure on him and not allow him to set his feet and throw the football comfortably down the field.
That was right Malone all over him, number 86. Did you see the throw? Well, that was awful close.
Very close to being inbounds with that throw, but it wouldn't have been anywhere.
Mayshawn Sanders will be back to receive the punt by Lucas Yanez, who was third in the conference and playing the football at 41 yards from punt.
And the biggest punter I've ever seen.
Sanders. Well, he's number 57. He's supposed to be big. Sanders flipped it at the 40 immediately. And a good play for Grambling State. That was Calvin Pearson on the coverage, a 39-yard kick. The return, -4. First 10 for Alabama State. They win the conference, averaging 481 total yards per game. That's best in the conference, and that's because they can throw the ball, they can run the ball. They're averaging 9 yards per play in this contest so far. A first and 10 for them. This time, they give it inside to their to their running back, Bias. Tries to work his way outside and picks up about 4 yards on the carry.
Good look at Bias, number one back in the conference.
So now it'll be second down, or shy of the 45-yard line. Here's Kennedy. Time to throw. Almost intercepted. It's caught by U.J. Johnson. Still feet at the 15. Making a move inside the 5-yard line. Boy, how lucky have the Horse been so far in this one, where balls are bouncing off receivers and in the hands of others.
The two biggest plays of this game have come by on very good defensive plays by Grambling that just the ball bounced in the wrong direction. It's Brown, once again, a team who gets his hand on the football, and there's a whole bunch of black shirts standing around watching Brown make a very good play. But two that Reed, the safety, has to come from the other side of the field to save the touchdown.
Doug Williams said they were going to have to stop big plays as they make their stop there, but Doug Williams was concerned about the big play capabilities of Alabama State as Taylor makes a play there, but we've already seen a 62-yard play for Alabama State and now a 51-yard play. So it's second down and goal. Ball's at 7. Kennedy has Tiger to the left. I formation as he gets back. And could not get players where he wants them, so he called timeout.
Again, it's a smart timeout call by Kennedy. With the pace of this ball game, he's done an outstanding job of making a good decision so that when he comes back, he has a shot at the end zone.
I'm Alabama, George Johnson, along with Don McPherson and Joe Claire. The Southwest Airlines production. Black college football, the SWAC championship here in Birmingham. Darnell Kennedy on offense has been marvelous. High formation, gives it through his deep body, making his way inside the 5, down the 1-yard line. A big time running. He's stopped by the middle linebacker, Robert Taylor.
I'm impressed with the way Alabama State has responded to the tempo of this game. They've gone to the run game and made it work.
Third and goal. They get inside to the fullback, Sellers. and they're going to say touchdown, Casey Sellers. And Doug Williams is not happy. His team came up with yet another goal line stand.
Yeah, and Doug Williams is not wearing a striped shirt. He doesn't get to take that call. He's got his team back into rhythm in this ball game. And right now, Alabama State has responded to the tempo of this game. And I want to take you back to Darnell Kennedy making that decision to call a timeout. It's a smart play for Darnell Kennedy.
So Elms is going to a checkpoint after, where he was 33 of 40 coming in. He's hit both in this ball game. Alabama State with a flag on the field. It was a legal procedure, though. Charge to Alabama State. So I would assume we're going to kick this thing again.
On the offense.
Who went outside?
You heard Elsie Cole.
The whole left side jump.
Here's Doug Williams.
Tell Phil, get the game. You don't need all that old excess. Tell Phil, you don't need all that excess celebration and stuff. Just score the points. Let's just get off the field.
And you see Doug Williams and his reaction when they said that Sellers did score. He was not too happy about it. And then L.C. Cole not about the fact that, as he would say, the whole left side of the line moved.
I think they were covering up for Brown. They didn't want to get caught again.
So now Elms will have to attempt the point from 25 yards out. And the kick is still good. And you marked it good. You marked it good, as Elsie would say. 8:37 left in the first half. Alabama State has been in control, 17-3 over your defending SWAC champions, the Grambling State Tigers.
Talk about the difference being in the run game and what teams respond. And Sellers just get the shoulder pad, just past Highland, and all that needs to happen. The touchdown call to be made. Alabama State has done it with a few big plays that have come off of, not really a mistake, but good defensive plays by Grambling that they just couldn't complete the play. And then the run game is grinding things out for Alabama State very slowly and taking advantage of some big plays and putting the ball in the end zone.
Casey Sellers, who scored that touchdown, had only run the football one time prior to today. He was really a tight end who they moved to the fullback spot, mainly to block. But he gets a touchdown in the SWAC championship, and that'll be something that he never forgets.
It's something that a lot of people say, what, you scored in the SWAC championship game? With all those outstanding wide receivers and Darnell Kennedy throwing the ball?
Sheckman back to receive the kick, and this one goes out of bounds, and so that'll be a penalty, and that'll give Grambling State good field position. Bedford's kick goes out of bounds. So they'll mark the ball now at the 35-yard line. Doug Williams is screaming at the officials. He is still very animated on the sideline. He is not happy, and he's still screaming, and he's on the field.
Hard to tell what he's upset about right now, but if I was Williams, I would be more concerned with getting his team settled down in this ballgame and getting his offense some rhythm. They've done a nice job of hanging on to the football and keeping Alabama State's offense off the field. But his offense needs to get that rhythm to get the ball down the field and get some points on the board.
Well, they do average 37 points per contest. Randy Himes is the man that they turn to try to get the points on the board before the end of the first half. They give it to Hill, and look at Cochran make play off his outside linebacker spot.
Cochran gets a good jump on plays. As I said in the open, a rangy, long outside linebacker who they count on a lot with the switches in the middle, and you'll see him on the right side of your screen, just slash down on scrimmage. Nice play by Cochran, and he gets a little bit of help from Malone. He's 6 there. Really just a pat on the back from Malone. Cochran with a nice play.
Malone and Cochran have been absolutely outstanding as Hill, with 35 yards on the ground rushing so far in this contest, picks up none on that play. Movement on the defensive front. Cochran made the play behind the line of scrimmage, and if they don't call an offsides, that's a big-time play for Earl Cochran again. It looked like defensive lineman, though, crossed that plane before the ball was snapped.
I think Deshaun Gilliam, the guard, jumps a little quick.
I don't know. I'll find out. I'll find out for you.
But Cochran's one of those players that...
Receiver! Nickel, where you at? Come on! Get just for the game! Get on that back around!
I love it when you hear the coaches and you hear
Let's go with a rip! Let's go with a rip! Flip!
I know what that means, 80 flip, but it sounds good. He's got his nickel guys in there. You know, he's extra tight end, Shanklin the ball game.
Second down now. Grambling State looking for Spears on the play, and it goes to his hands, and that'll set up third down now. Where Grambling is 2 for 5 so far in the contest on third down.
You know, we talked about how good Hodge was and how good he was in the Bayou Classic against them last week. But coming out in the second half in the Bayou Classic, they were flat offensively. And that time, Spears didn't seem like he knew the ball was coming his way. They had no rhythm. I keep talking about this word, but it's so important in the pass game.
Himes 1 for 6 on his last attempts. And this one is complete to Douglas out in the flat and good enough for a first down. But Himes now just 2 for 7. And he's also thrown an interception. And it was just 5 yards he had thrown for, but you can tack on another 6 on that play. So Himes is struggling coming in.
And he was late on the throw. He's lucky he got away with it. He was late on the out route to the field. Take a look at his numbers. Not very impressive so far this ball game.
Completed 48% of his passes for 1,700 yards coming into the contest. This time he's looking to the outside, and it goes in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Levi Washington. And this is uncharacteristic of these two receivers, Spears and Washington, letting balls go through their hands.
Letting balls go right through their hands. They don't look like they're really going after the football. They're very lethargic in their route. And that time, Butler, the defensive back, was right there for the play.
You talked about it. The fact is that last week was the biggest game on their schedule, the Bayou Classic. Beating Southern for the first time in 8 tries was big for them. Did they maybe take too much out of themselves in that contest? Here's Himes. A second down and 10. Pass is completed. Up and over goes Shanklin. Defending was Antonio Hill.
And Shanklin just tried to put his head down and get the first down. Himes, give the ball right now. Give him a chance. The ball is way too late. You need to give him a chance to get the ball in his hands, make a move, but crowd will give you a little bit of an ooh and an ah, but
more yards because we now have a penalty on the field. Charge Alabama State. And it's on the defensive secondary.
And what they're saying is Hill used his helmet and his head to make that tackle, which is illegal.
So they tack on another 15 yards after the play, and it's inside the 30.
He did an old Spider Lockhart, just drop his head and go after the knees.
So first and 10, ball at the 29 for Himes, no backs, 5 receivers, again get to Shanklin. Hill came and made the hit, yet again getting a little help from Jamal Fletcher.
The rule on that last play that you're not supposed to use your head. Watch Hill, 24, he's going to drop his head and go right first. Actually, I thought that was an excellent tackle, but the official saw him drop his head and lead him first into the tackle.
Shanklin picked up that play, picked up the pass play again, and this time picked up 8 yards on it, so makes it now second down and short. As you see total yards for both teams. There's Himes in good coverage, trying to go out in the flat again, but his receiver could not hold on to the football. The pass was intended for Douglas.
And Himes still looking down the field, trying to make the big play happen. He needs to concentrate on these short passes, get into that rhythm I've been talking about, get confidence.
5:17 left here in our second quarter as Grambling State up to attempt their 8th play of this drive. Ball to 23-yard line. SWAC championship, and the Tigers trailing in this one 17-3. Love to get on the board. If there's anyone who needs momentum going into intermission, it's the Grambling State Tigers. It's been all Alabama State here so far. Wide open receiver, touchdown Grambling State. This time it's the tight end, Deshaun Jesse. The backup tight end with the catch, a 23-yard touchdown reception, his first catch of the season.
Got away with stuff on the ball. Right on your screen, 86. That's the tight end. He's going to slip right into that 2 coverage behind Hill. And before Cade, the safety, can come over and make a play.
Deshaun Jesse, the junior from Houston, Texas, 6'4", 230 pounds, and Nick is no good for Grambling State. So instead of getting into that lead to 7, they now trail by 8. Doug is not happy with that. He needs every point he can possibly get.
Absolutely. Thrown by 8. You know, obviously there's going to be a lot more swing in this ball game. That's a very important point right there.
Should get a good look at Brian Morgan, who's first team all SWAC coming into this one. And first meeting between these two teams, that young man right there kicked field goals 47 and 38 yards. He was perfect 2 for 2. But as you said, this PAT could weigh heavily in the final outcome of this.
Absolutely. And George, I want to go back to a comment you made earlier about what Grambling did last week in the Bayou Classic, something they hadn't done in a long time, and they had that monkey on their back. They wanted to get a perfect season, and Alabama State ruined their perfect season. So, you know, Doug Williams said it's not a matter of revenge, it's a matter of a championship game. However, there is a big psychological difference for Grambling. A huge letdown. I think, like you said, I think they spent a lot of energy worrying about the Bayou Classic. Remember, without the Bayou Classic, they don't have a championship game, so they had to put all eggs in that basket, and they've come out very flat. Although they've come within 8 now, they've come out very flat so far in this ball game.
So Morgan will kick off. Sean Holmes is one of your deep backs for the kickoff. This is Holmes right here. The ball is met immediately up the 29-yard line, able to drag the defender 3 yards more yardage, but Alabama State takes over. 1st and 10, outside their 30, and they lead by 8, 17-0. And another flag and a holding call. Looks to be what they're going to assess to Alabama State. So that'll move them back, which is good news for Doug Williams. Not good news for that man right there, L.C. Cole, the head coach of Alabama State. But his team's in control with 4:58 left here in the first half. Championship here in Birmingham, Alabama. George Johnson along with Don McPherson, and also Joe Claire, who's on the sidelines. And let's go down, Joe.
All right, just a second ago, y'all were partying, but Grambling just scored. Y'all still partying? Yeah! See, I'm telling y'all, partying hard over here, baby. I'm sticking over here because they know what the party is tonight, tomorrow, Monday, all of that. Look up to y'all up top. I'm getting my party on.
Joking hype, he wore his black and gold today, too, just so that he fits in on both sides in this one. Grambling State has had some problems with penalties. So has Alabama State, who's given 82 yards of penalties, although they've gained 82 yards, so they've had none when it comes to that. 18 plays for Alabama, 182 total yards. Grambling State, 32 plays, with 127 total yards. And both teams have had the ball 4 times. So Alabama State's Darnell Kennedy looking out for B.J. Tiger, and the pass was overthrown, and that'll set it up 3rd down and long.
And that's Massey, number 11, the defensive back in there, put a little pressure on Kennedy. Grambling, let's bring these defensive backs, their nickel back. Massey, just a little guy, but they like to send him back and harass the quarterback. He did a nice job that time.
5'10", 185 pounds is what they have Massey at. And most of his tackles are for losses this season, so they do like to send him. 5 wide receivers for Kennedy. He steps up, has some room, gonna run it, takes a pop, but yet gets the first down on the carry.
Been real impressed with the decision-making of Bob Kennedy today.
Timeout for today's Coca-Cola trivia question, brought to you by Coca-Cola. And of the top 25 one-play all-time pass leaders, which quarterbacks have started in a Super Bowl?
That's a good question. I like that question.
It's a real good answer, too. You get a chance to chew on that one. 1st and 10. Kennedy could not get the handoff off, so he was forced to run the football. Reed came up to make the play as the middle linebacker, Robert Taylor.
Talked about Robert not having to stop the run game. He's also a very aggressive pass game. They're not going to ask him to drop back into coverage a lot. As I said before, he's a pro-type middle linebacker.
4 carries, Kennedy so far for 32 yards. He picked up none on that one, so it's down and 10. This time dumps it off to Howard. Howard, nowhere to go. Willie Gray sniffed it out, got a little help.
Yeah, these defensive linemen for both teams have been sniffing out these screens. That time, 74, Willie Gray saw the play going the other way and made a nice play going back the other way for the tackle.
Flags all over the place on this one, too.
Usually you either get a hold or a man downfield or a face mask. Right there, as you see that head turn.
Calvin Pearson, the 3, came to help out.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty. First down.
So Willie Gray, who's a first-team All-SWAC selection this season, a little over-anxious on that play. It was high.
He made a smart play with his brain, a bad play with his hand.
As you get a good look at Calvin Pearson, also a big-time player for Grambling. This time, almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Calvin Spears. I mean, that doesn't happen too often. The senior from Baton Rouge, 4-time All-SWAC selection.
Yeah, and it's going to get even worse for Grambling because Hall got the defensive end was offsides in that play.
So the interception wouldn't have happened. So at first it was Alabama State pick up all the penalties. Now Grambling State trying to catch up to them.
Right, and when it comes to the breaks in this ball game, which we figure this game's going to come down to the third down conversion, what team maybe has the ball last. So far it's come down to breaks, and Alabama State has gotten more of the breaks.
So 1st and 10 now for Alabama State. Ball's at the 46. They give it to Daryl Howard inside. Howard is the 4th lead rusher on the club, averaging a whopping 7 yards every time he runs the football. But Grambling State has been onto him so far in this.
Well, when you're a single back sometimes in that 4-1 set, it's kind of like what made Barry Sanders so effective at running and shooting the NFL is that you spread the defense out, you throw the ball a lot, and then when you come down with a screen pass or come down with a draw to your single back, there's lots of room to run the secondary.
Matt back into the ball game for Grambling State as they force Kenny out of the pocket, just to get rid of it. But wow, what a play by Calvin Pearson, who came from the outside and dragged Kennedy down. Incomplete pass.
And this is one of the reasons why you like to bring your secondary people in on the blitz, because they can run down these quarterbacks. And Pearson, a nice job of running down. Kennedy kind of rolled over his knee there. He might be hurt a little bit. He's coming up limping. The top player, you can see his whole right leg. You see that turf mark on his right leg. That's where he went down and slid on top of it. But he got a big kid.
And now they're going to call a penalty against Alabama State.
Kenny's been much more active running the football. He's been making those decisions to pull down and get some extra yardage. I like this kid with his arm, but again, he's made the right decision to pull the ball down and run at the right times in this ball game.
A lot of them have come on 3rd down situations where they needed a 1st down, and he was able to get for them.
I think with his last play, you want to kind of lip off with nearly 8 yards of carry, that he's going to stay in the pocket just a little bit more. This is probably as dirty as he's ever been in a ball game.
Well, 3rd down situation for his club. They're 4 for 6 this year, as you get a good look at Johnny Cole, the brother of LC, who's the offensive coordinator of the club, and he has had some good quarterbacks in his day. He also coached Leon Murray at Tennessee State, as we got a timeout on the field. He's also coached Kennedy and Murray, and even a good quarterback named Chris Perkins was at TSU. We'll talk more about it when we get back. Your question brought to you by Coca-Cola, the top 25 1AA all-time pass leaders. Which quarterback started in a Super Bowl? Now, before you give me the question, do you have the answer, Don?
Well, I have 2.
Well, you got to have 2 because the question is for 2.
Well, you got Doug Williams and
Okay.
Steve McNair.
Oh, never mind. Now you can put it.
How'd I do? But where's Doug in the top 25 then?
How'd I do? How'd I do? You sound like a couple of coaches I know right now. Today's trivia question is brought to you by Coca-Cola and Garbage Fierce Ride. On 3rd down, Kennedy is dragged down. Andre Arnold, the senior from Columbus, Georgia, back there for the 2nd And it's going for us, Alabama State, to punt the football with the clock still running. Under 2 minutes left, but Grambling State gets the football again.
And you get a sense that there's a little bit of momentum switch right now, and Grambling State is starting to get that momentum. They're getting big plays from their defense. Again, on third down, they're getting the big plays on defense.
And they're giving Kendrick Shanklin a chance for a return, averaging 50 yards every time he turns the football. He'll take this one at the 10. Makes a move. 3. And he dragged down a good defensive play by Erland Sanders, but it may have been a face mask. A 53-yard kick, 5-yard return for Shanklin.
Yeah, they're going to call this a face mask. I think it's a questionable call because it looked like it was all jersey. Well, all they need is just to see a little bit of it, and they'll give it a call every time. An outstanding
Face
punt.
mask. The defense, high penalty from the end of the row.
You talk about great kicks. I mean, David Bedford in that first meeting averaged 50 yards a punt. He may have been the MVP of this club.
Card one.
That was good for 56. And he's averaging about 56 yards punt. This one as he's had it twice.
Hey, watch the jailbreak screen now.
The jailbreak screen may be the one where they dumped it off Shanklin, and they got the interception off of early in the ball game.
Well, the jailbreak screen is block anyone. Jailbreak is when every defensive lineman to the jailbreak to the quarterback.
So here's Hines, first and 10. And throw it out in the flat. Pass is complete to the running back out the backfield, Byron Brown. Brown is close to a first down, although he looks like he'll be shot by a yard.
We talked about this being a quarterback dream of a game. This is a quarterback's dream situation. A minute left in the half. Bring your hurry-up offense for Hines.
And Hines' pass intended for Shanklin is incomplete. And that, I would assume that throw is reflective of the fact that he's not in that rhythm you talked about.
He's not in that rhythm. He's not stepping into throws. He's throwing to his left. You have to get your entire body around and step into that throw. In college football, when you're working on the short side of the field and you're trying to manage the clock, try not to throw the ball to the field. There's too much field there. Let's stay to one side, especially when you have so many wide receivers on the field.
57 seconds left here in the first half. Grambling State looking for something before the end of the first half. Pass was intended for Douglas, incomplete. It's going to set up a 4th down and 1. I don't know if they can take a chance of trying to get first down here when they're so deep in their own territory.
I don't think they will take a chance. He's got to throw this ball time. Douglas comes down this break. The ball needs to be there now. Too late. That gives Hill the chance to come up and make that play. And Douglas, by the time the ball got him, was almost out of bounds anyway.
They will punt the football. Yanez comes back out to punt. A wasted opportunity for Grambling State after a good defensive stop before this. The last punt went 39 yards for Yanez. Sanders is back, keep to receive the punt.
Keep it clean, keep it clean.
He'll take it at the 27-yard line, trying to get to the outside. Good defensive coverage. Sanders returns it for 7 yards.
Hey, you want to get you in front of the game, you understand? Oh, freaking field like that. That's a penalty.
The intensity of LC Cole. How do you like it when your coach gets in your face like that?
You know what? Long time started to play. He just
started getting chilled.
Shut me up. Yeah.
He started getting chilled next to me. 39 seconds left in the first half. Alabama State.
It looks like Alabama State's going to be content with going into the locker room with a 17-9 lead.
How with the handoff right there, he lost a yard on the play. But like you said, Don, I don't think they were really looking for a whole lot of yards. They just want that clock to run out. They lead by 8 here in the 3rd annual SWAC championship. We'll get one more playoff before it's all said and done as they hit it off inside again to Howard. So that'll be the last play of the first half. Alabama State in control, 17-9. LC Cole's done a good job, at least his offense has, of coming up with some big plays, and that's why they have the lead in this one. Cole's club coming in 8-3 overall, 6-1 in the conference. As we have come halftime here, and of course you know that means the fans are coming your way. Southwest Airlines halftime report. You'll see both marching bands. You'll see first half stats. Alabama State will go into the locker room, leading, looking for their first ever SWAC championship. L.C. Cole, the head coach, is standing by with us right now. Coach, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing? Congratulations so far in this first half. I mean, you got some big-time plays for the club offensively.
Yeah, you know, we came out on the first play there and then hit a long bomb on them and, you know, lucked up and got an end zone.
Coach Don McPherson here came out, run the football. What do you expect them to do in the second half? Were you surprised run game?
Well, I figured they was going to come out and run football because I think Hines is a little bit hurt, so what they try to do is run the football and do a little bit of a pass.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you in the second half.
All right, appreciate it.
Head coach L.C. Cole, Alabama State, signs that brand new contract this morning, and his club leads 17-9. Report you can see is Alabama State here in the first half, and it's been big plays that have given them the opportunity to have this lead. In fact, 23 seconds into the ball game, Darnell Kennedy going deep for Eugene Johnson, hits, caught by B.J. Tyler, a 61-yard play. Alabama State in the lead. It's halftime. Performances on the field, and for that, we go down to the showman, the head showmaster, and that is Joe Clair. Joe.
Yeah, I'm down here partying with the Grambling State Tiger Marching Band doing their thing. They play all their hits. Director Larry Pennell was putting it down. I'm partying. Y'all up top. Y'all never get to have much fun as Cleveland. What happened? See me? See me? Good time. Good old time.
Famous Grambling State marching band, their performance to an end. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, our Southwest Airlines halftime report continues on BET. Continues from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Coach Johnson, Don McPherson, and Joe Clair under the broadcast team bringing you this game. First half highlights and big-time play Don right away.
Yeah, that's what we thought we'd see more with the big play. And Brian makes a good defensive play there. But Alabama comes up with the touchdown. Then Shanklin begins to get some momentum for Grambling with a big run there. Behind the same play, Shanklin, Ty Wilcox comes up with a big interception on the defensive line.
How about that defense to the front for Grambling State? Get them out of the end zone early, but they just couldn't stop these plays right here.
Yeah, and Johnson gets a big on the center, by Brown again. Makes a big play. Pearson has to save the touchdown.
Meanwhile, they get the touchdown run. Talking about Alabama State from Case Sellers. Coming right back was Grambling State. That hit right there was a penalty, and it sets up the touchdown.
Exactly, and Grambling did a nice job in the second half, in the second quarter, of starting to build some momentum. With play Shanklin, and then the touchdown to Jesse.
There's Jesse with that touchdown kick for Grambling State as they trail 17-9. That was Southwest Airlines first highlights. Now let's go back onto the field. Joe Clair standing by with more entertainment.
Yo, you ain't even got to come to me because I'm getting busy with the Mighty Marching Hornets led by your man James Oliver. That's all I got to say. Y'all missing the best part of the game, man. Y'all up there in the box talking about nothing. I'm out here seeing all the stuff. You can't see these girls over here. Don't show them. Don't show them back up to y'all at the top. Look at her.
Alabama State University, Marching Hornets, all right! Alabama State.
Commercial time here, and we're going to continue our Southwest Airlines halftime report when we get right back to Birmingham. College football and Alabama State in the first half. They've had 7 plays. They do have more passing yards because Darnell Kennedy can flat out fling it. But you can see yards per play a little different right there. Doug, though, been running the football a little more.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he only had 3.9. As you said, he's been running the ball, trying to grind this out. The big difference here also, 11 penalties to Alabama State. That's way too many. If you play championship football, you have to cut those numbers down.
And yet, despite the fact that they have 6 more penalties than Grambling State, Doug Williams' club still trails in this one. We'll see if he can come back here in the second half when we return. I'm almost over here. Our Southwest Airlines halftime report also about coming to an end as Alabama State leads 17-9. George Johnson, Don McPherson, and Joe Claire. George and Don here in the booth. First half, we saw that Alabama State have the penalties, and yet able to have the lead. What do you expect Grambling to do in the second half to get back in?
Well, I expect Grambling to come out and go to a short passing game, giving Himes some time for the football and get with him in the pass game.
How about Alabama State? You think they start to put the ball on the ground and slow things out? No Darnell Kennedy's going to put the football on the ground.
I think they'll do just the opposite. I think they'll try to open this game up. I think both teams will open it up and play the football they're comfortable with, and he's throwing the ball vertically down the field.
So obviously, Alabama State not going to be happy with the points that they have. They're going to want a lot more, and know they're going to need more if they want to keep Grambling State off the table. Second half action here on BET. We return. So here we are going to start our second half of action. BET, the championship, the 3rd annual. Kendrick Shanklin will be back to receive the kickoff for Grambling State, who trails in this one by 8 points. This one is returned by Clay. Clay picked up, ball's loose, ball's falling on though. Looked like Levi Washington had a chance at it, but Alabama State with a huge break may have the football deep inside Grambling State territory, and that is a kick for Doug Williams' club.
Well, we talked about the big breaks the whole game long. Big breaks in championship games make the difference. 2 teams, both scoring about 37 points. It's going to come down to special teams who gets the big breaks.
Clay dropped it, and it looked like Levi Washington had a chance to recover the football right there, but doesn't come up with it.
Once that ball gets on the ground, you just never know what's going to happen under the pile. And you're right. Washington's a guy who should get his hands on the football. He's a wide receiver.
And he's a veteran. He's a senior. Got to make plays like that late in this ball game. So here's Alabama State with the 8-point lead. The shovel pass. Tiger makes a move, ran into his own tight end, but may have gotten the first down.
And they tried that early in the ball game. It didn't work. Kennedy wasn't able to get the pitch off the Tiger. That time it worked perfectly. Just let the rush come from the outside and pitch the ball underneath.
In the first half, Kennedy 7 of the 11 for 141 yards and 1 touchdown, including that 62-yard play to B.J. Tiger for a score, the first play of the ball game. But they did get first down. Ball is marked at about the 16-yard. Kennedy gonna roll. Kennedy dumps it off. The tight end Coleman. Coleman dropped it about the 11. Almost dropped the football himself.
He dropped it and fell on it really quick. Kennedy doing a nice job off to his left and dumping off quickly to his tight end Coleman. Makes a nice move. Back inside against the grain. And leaving Duke, the linebacker, number 8, to make the tackle.
Well, Chris Coleman developed into a pretty good player, and it's happened almost overnight for this guy. So here we are, second down. Alabama State is perfect in the red zone with a field goal and a touchdown, 2 for 2. They try to dump it off to their fullback, Sellers, the former tight end.
Round number 19 right there. A nice play, fighting through the tackle of VJ Tiger and making the tackle on Sellers. See Brown fight through that tackle. Tiger was the one that made the stop.
So now there's some discussion, I guess, as to where they're marking football. If they're marking it at the 6-yard line, that's a first down, and it makes it first and goal.
You see how that stays 15 inside the red zone.
So here they are. They give it inside again to the fullback. Sellers picks up maybe 3 yards on the carry, as they will be content to just take their time to get that ball in.
And for a team that passes as much as they do, it's a tough 3 yards by Sellers in that offensive line, trying to grind it outside the 5-yard line. You have to be impressed the way they played on the interior of the line. They decided to run the football.
They lead by 8 and looking for more. Second and goal. Kennedy is going to hold on to it. Makes a move, tries to get to the outside. Oh! He tried to leap into that end zone and nothing doing. Coming up to make the Dante Newell.
And if you don't think Darnell Kennedy is not a competitor, we talked about him being tough for the blue-gray game. This guy's one of the best college football players in the country. And you see it right here. He decides to tuck it and run, and he leaps into the air. That's why his move when you're only like 90, but this is a competitor right here.
Also involved in them, Terrence Duke, who made a big-time play at the goal line in the first half. Sellers and Howard are your backs. They're in the I formation. Third down and goal. A flag. And you know Grambling State, very anxious to make the stop right here. They can ill afford to watch Alabama State take an even bigger lead.
That's right. And this is a defensive unit that's not supposed to be on the field.
Or defense. Happens to go to a third down.
This is a defense unit that's not even supposed to be on the field right now. They're receiving the opening kickoff for the second half. So this is a big opportunity for Alabama State.
It's a team that gives up just 18 points per contest. Alabama State already with 17 and looking for more. Sellers and Howard again, your back. Tiger, your lone receiver. Sorry, though. And this time they give it to Howard. Howard breaks the tackle and gets into the end zone. Denmark was in the backfield. Could have made the play, got an arm on him, but did not have enough to stop. Daryl Howard getting into the end zone for that touchdown.
Impressive series of for Alabama State. They've done it with their run game. They got the opportunity inside the 5-yard line. A very impressive series of downs and something that gives the team a different kind of momentum. It's a tough kind of momentum that knows that you're going to go win this football game no matter which way you have to get it done.
Elms' kick is up, and it is good. So now the lead is 15. Alabama State scores early, short touchdown run. They're up 4.5. When State started the second half with possession of the football, they thought they would have possession of the football, but they both the kickoff. Alabama State picked it up, got it, came right back, scored a short touchdown run, courtesy of Adele Howard. Meanwhile, while we went to break, Alabama State starting the field. We were at practice yesterday, and they sort of looked like this at practice. They would jump around. They were very loose. In fact, Darnell, when he looked at me, he said, look at this. We got 30 quarterbacks out here now. They're all doing what they're not supposed to be doing. But that's what we do the day before a ball game. States and get ready for this.
They were so much more loose than Grambling yesterday. They feel like they had the sense they were happy being in this ball game, and it was a lot of fun for them in this ball game. On the other side, this was a goal for Grambling that they felt, especially coming off the Bayou Classic, that they had to one more hurdle that they had to get over. They seemed a little bit more burdened by this ball game in Alabama State.
Derek Wallace is back deep in the pick along with Kevin Shanklin, as they have now relieved the DJ Clay the duties after fumbling the football. Here's Shanklin from inside zone 10, and he's knocked up. He loses the ball. Another fumble recovery for Alabama State. Latavius Abrams may be the man to guard the football.
You have one official saying the ball's down.
Boy, this will be a big, big break if Grambling State drives this bullet.
They say the ball was down. We'll get another look at the ball's hard to see that angle, but that...
Well, that looked like a fumble to me. He dropped that when he got hit.
A very close, quick whistle. That is definitely a fumble, but a quick whistle by the officials. And now
Alabama, Grambling State wants to run a football play. Alabama State still trying to regroup. They thought they had the football.
You had officials even trying to regroup. Grambling tried to run a play.
They said, get out there, do this. 11-11 left here in the third quarter. His Tigers are trailing the Hornets by 15. They did get football. Himes is going to come out on the field. He's got 4 receivers to each side, and Shanklin is his lone setback. Randy Himes is quarterback.
Yeah, this is what I expect Grambling to come back and start to throw football down the field and almost abandon the run game in the second half.
So they give Shanklin the football, first down. He's met by a host of Hornets. Cochran is one of your tackles there.
Cochran getting up and giving a little dance, a little taunting in there. I wouldn't get too confident just yet.
Himes, the first half, completed 10 of 21 passes, had an interception and a touchdown pass for 110 yards. Came in the 4th best quarterback in the SWAC, behind such names as Darnell Kennedy and Bobby Kent, who's all at Jackson State this year. And Donald Carey, also a big-time quarterback, who's the newcomer of the year in the SWAC from Alcorn State.
Just some outstanding quarterback play. Right now, Himes is going to have to get his offense going. Get very aggressive and confident defense right now.
Second down for Himes. Pass goes in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Chris Hushaw. The first time he's thrown to him all afternoon.
And he's not getting any help from his receivers. That's the 3rd drop pass by a Grambling receiver today, and each one of them seems like they're not even trying to go after the football.
Hey, what's that idea play? 3.
You see LC Cole checking out his calls, his defensive formations. He says, watch for the tight end. Ellis Spears is his lone receiver, split to the right. Here's Hyman. Gets it off to Shanklin. Shanklin looking for a block. Shanklin on 3rd down picks up the first down as he gets it out about the 37-yard line. And another penalty, this time charged to Grambling State, holding.
Holding. The offense. 10-yard on the previous spot. Throw it down.
So that'll set a 3rd down situation for Doug Williams' club. They've converted 50% of their opportunities, 4-8.
Well, George, you wondered how 2 teams can get to the championship game, being the most penalized teams in the conference, and that's because they managed to make big plays. Big plays matter. And Grambling has not made the big plays when they matter all afternoon.
Well, they can make it here. It's now 3rd down. 14 yards to go for first down. Some setback behind. And they're going to get off the mark on the delayed handoff. Young still bowling his way out to about the 26-yard line. He's going to be shy for first down by 3 yards. Cochran made the play again for Alabama State. That's such a punting situation. Yanez will come up on the football. Marcus punted the ball twice in the first half, averaging 41 yards per kick. His first one 43. Sanders is back deep to receive the punt. Sean is standing at his 40-yard line. That's high kick for Sanders. Clears out of the way. Way out of the way. Whoa. A good punt though for Yanez. This one goes 52 yards and down to the 22-yard line. That's where the West take over. 1st and 10.
On Tuesday, we
rolled 8:53 left here in our 3rd quarter, and they have the football. Nice. It's all handoff. And a good move there by Mr. Larry Myers. 7 possessions for Alabama State. This one they have scored 4 times. They've punted it away twice. They ended the half on their 7th possession.
And now they're starting to mix it up with plays like this. And Bias looked like he was looking for people to hit on this play back inside, looking for someone to run into.
This time they fake the inside handoff, get it outside to B.J. Tiger gets first down, but a flag flying on the field at the 28-yard line, and I got a feeling they're going to bring that one back.
A 5-yard penalty for free. Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty. The pre-spot. 2nd down.
That moves the football back 5 yards. 2nd down now. Ball will be marked at the 24-yard line. It's 2nd down and 8. ASU, average possession, 6 plays. About 2.5 minutes, a little over 2.5 as they try to throw it inside. Making the catch this time was Eugene Johnson.
Eugene Johnson came from so wide out on the field that he had to come so far in just to get to where his blocking was. Still made an outstanding effort after the catch. You see his offensive lineman trying to get all the way out there, and they can't get out there in time to get a block.
He picked up maybe 4 yards on the play, makes it 3rd down. This is a big stop for Grambling State. Alabama State, though, 5 of 8 on 3rd down opportunities. 3rd 6. Gets it outside to Howard. Howard gets a nice move. Howard gets the first down. Taylor came over and made the tackle, but not before Darrell Howard picks up the first down off the catch.
I mean, a nice move on Spears, and then got an outstanding block by B.J. Tiger. You're going to see the move on Spears, number 4, right there. Boom! Nice little move on Spears.
And I'll tell you, Calvin Spears doesn't miss many tackles, but he missed that one, and it was a biggie. You look at SWAC Player of the Year, and his numbers living up to the bill. 1st and 10. Just shy of 35, and another whistle on the field. We're going to say it's a delay.
The offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Okay, these penalties, these are penalties they don't need. Alabama State averaging 12 penalties a game. That's now 15 penalties for 103 yards. Unbelievable. Alabama State, despite the fact that they shoot themselves in the foot, can still walk around with average Joe. 6:20 left. Kennedy with the football. Pass is caught by Tiger. Still on his feet, but he'll be short first down by about 6 yards.
And that's a big completion. Get you in position now with 2nd and 5. After the penalty, back in the ball game.
Grambling State's going to have to do a lot better trying to stop the pass. But they have struggled this year, allowing 212 yards a game in the air, and that puts them in the middle of the pack in the conference.
They face one of the best right now in Darnell Kennedy.
2nd down, here comes the blitz. Kennedy popped up the football. And Grambling State says they got it to do. Full recovery by Big Dante Newell. Newell, senior from Pennsylvania, 6'1", 270 pounds. So thanks to the turnover, Doug Williams and crew in business. And looking for some points. Over the middle pass is complete. This Shepard gets the pass down to the 10-yard line. First down after the 24-yard pickup.
And this is exactly what Grambling has to do right now. At this point in the ball game, this would be the most important opportunity for Grambling to take advantage of the turnover and put some points on the board. Almost less than 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They have to get some points on the board right now to get any kind of momentum to get in the ball game.
They jump by 15, high formation. Ellis Spears for the right. Give that Chris Shaw to the left. They give it this time to the back Brad Hill. And the junior takes inside the 10-yard line, picks up about 3 yards before he's taken down by Ronald Dillon.
And not a good sign right up for Grambling. Their All-American center, Batavia, is on the ground and holding his shoulder. Not a good injury for your center.
So we'll take a quick time out. 4:49 left here in our third.
This
was shaken up on that last play. This is a guy who came from Morehouse with Doug Williams to Grambling State and he's been All-American. Meanwhile, Randy Hines for the receiver, corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Grambling State. Big time catch by Chris Highshaw. His second touchdown reception of the season. Well, without Larry Batavia, they're able to get the kind of connection needed to get Hines out of flat, and he found his receiver deep in the corner of his own end zone.
Backfill and all. Hines gets himself out of the pocket and holds on to it. All right, the last hit, a little pressure by Grambling. Nice high throw. Allows his receiver Highshaw to go up for it, and make a nice step in the corner with his feet.
And thanks to the fumble by Darnell Kennedy, Grambling State is back in this football game as they trail 24-15.
Obviously, the points are important here, but remember they had the fumble on the kick return, and going to go now for 2 as Doug Williams takes time out to get his team back for 2. This is an important 2 catch. Remember, the missed field goal in the first quarter.
Highshaw, Grambling State now 24-15. They're looking for 2, as Don said before we went to break. They missed the extra point earlier in the ball game. That makes this 2-point conversion extremely important for them. Single sit back, 2 receivers to the left Hines. Nothing but use that in front of you. And it gets the conversion. Randy Hines, a big time fake there, open things up for him, and it thing but clears heading after that.
Well, we saw such outstanding linebacker away from Williams in the first quarter, stopping the run. And here's where you miss your experience like Williams 51. He's like, because he knows that he was last right of fence, and Hines walks in from the 2 points.
You wonder if Keith Miller were there, if he would have been faked out in this situation.
That's exactly right. That's where an experienced veteran player comes in, knowing that the play's one way. You just have to watch your home side.
So Randy Hines, a senior from Houston, Texas, with a 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, folks, we got a good one shaping up here with 4:33 left in the third quarter. It's a 7-point game. They started the second half with a fumble, talking about Grambling State, allowing Alabama State to get the touchdown. And you figure, wait a minute, the Hornets are in a piss here. Another turnover by Alabama State, allowing Grambling State to go right back with a 2-point conversion. And now it's a 7-point contest.
You know, just three plays, only a minute off the clock.
So Mayshawn Sanders and Brock Long back to receive the kick is long. Oh yeah, the Tigers, and all momentum now, I think, put on a black jersey.
All it takes is the ability to capitalize. The Darnell Kennedy from that football, it gave Grambling new life, and right now they're taking advantage of it. The one thing that Williams said, the difference between the 70s when he was here and this team, when they took the field in the 70s, they went out knowing they were going to win. The team has to learn how to win, and especially learn how to championships.
Well, John Brittany made the big hit, and that just might be the play that the Tigers need to see to get them going. So let's see what the SWAC player of the year do to counter this situation. Darnell Kennedy, this time, going to hold on to the football. He dropped it, but they're going to whistle him down. And does he think so? They're going to say football.
These are so inconsistent with the whistles. The last time we saw Shankman on what should have fumbled by Shankman with a quick whistle. This time a very slow whistle for Darnell Kennedy. That was a questionable whistle by the officials. Darnell Kennedy was way stopped in his play.
Travis Massey recovers it, but take it one more time.
He's got 5 guys on him down. They just did not whistle. You compare that. This is definitely a fumble, but when you compare this to the play by Shank earlier, there's a lot of consistency in how they're blowing whistles in this ballgame.
The last 2 plays for Alabama State, they have turned it over. Or should I say, the last 2 plays, their SWAC player of the year, Darnell Kennedy, turned it over. And here comes Grambling State. And they're trying to go halfback option play. This is incomplete, but Greg Brown with the ability to get rid of the football before they lose the yards.
Very smart play as Grambling tried a little trickery. A very smart play by Brown, knowing he had nothing to get rid of it and avoid the big loss.
Second down and 10. I was at the 28-yard line. Spears is one receiver. Actually, there are 4 receivers on the field for Randy Hines. Shanklin is the back. Hines over the middle. Hines passes caught by Washington. His first reception of the game inside the 10-yard line at the 8. A 19-yard pickup for the Grambling Tigers.
I've been talking about Rip all game long, and on his last 2 possessions for Grambling, Hines has his rhythm now, controlling the ball on time. He's putting the ball in seams. This team is some players a little more confidence right now, a little more upset. You see the man. Everyone's starting to feel right now from the state.
Erling Sanders was the man who made the tackle, but not before they got inside the 10. It's first and goal for the Grambling Tigers. They try by 7. Inside handoff. Straight 3. Touchdown. Grambling State. Kendrick Shanklin gets in. We got whistles.
Let the whistles. As the whistles have been so inconsistent. Shanklin was 10 yards deep past the end zone when they finally whistle on the play.
And L.C. Coldout has got to be a little concerned as his club is allowing Grambling State to come back in this one. And an opportunity now to tie the ball game up. Morgan's kick is up, and it is good. 3:28 left here in the third quarter. And oh yeah, it's 24-24. And you can hear the folks on the side of Grambling saying, what?
And we talk about Shanklin's elusivity as he makes moves in the backfield and gets himself in secondary for a touchdown. That was all Shanklin making moves after the handoff.
Alabama State had 10 points off turnovers. Grambling State 15, and all 15 coming in this third quarter.
I talked about at the beginning of the half what Grambling State needs to do in both of these teams was open game back up. And Grambling State has been plus 12 on the year in takeaways, busting fumbles. And even though the fumbles came at the hands of Darnell Kennedy mistakes, they've taken advantage and put points on the board.
Today's MEAC Conference standings brought to you by 1-800-CALL-AT&T for collect calls. Let's take a look. We know that Grambling State, Alabama State finished in first place, but how about the MEAC for Florida A&M? 7-1. They're your MEAC champions. They're playing in the playoffs against Georgia Southern today. Morgan's kick is a huge one. Alabama State with the return. And on the return, that's number 26. Right long, and Long takes it out. We'll have the 26-yard line, but we do have a flag to play at the 24. Looks like an area we have an illegal block. So now the momentum really shifted. And Darnell Kennedy, we're going to find out just how cool and custom he really is in this instance.
The holding on the running back. 10 yards coming. First down.
There's no question about it, George. Right now is the time L.C. Cole has to gather his team, calm his team down, because right now they have a big challenge to turn the momentum in their favor.
Quick strike ability, I might say. 3 plays, it took 1 minute for him to score, and then 3 plays, it took 44 seconds to score. 15 points here in the third quarter, unanswered, as they're back in the football game. It's now 24-24. You can see points off the turnovers. Grambling State with none in first half. They've turned things around. We talked about how that defense had to stiffen up, but on the other hand, you almost got to say Darnell Kennedy is off the football level, and he really shouldn't have.
He certainly hasn't, and now you're going to find out what this kid is made of, because not only does he have to put points in the ball, but he has to settle his team down in this situation.
So just over 3 minutes left in this football game, actually in the third quarter. Second down, ball at the 19-yard line. They try to get to the outside. Chris Coleman out there, and nothing doing. Pearson out there, as well as Massey, and also Mark Hall. Listen to the hit on this play right here, folks. That's helmet on helmet right there.
It wasn't just the hit, it was the hits. It was
That was Calvin Spears, number 4, coming up there, lowering the boom. Alabama State now 3rd down and 4. They're 6 of 9 in third downs today. See what Kennedy can do. Quickly over the middle. Pass is complete and caught by Jermaine Crenshaw. Crенshaw's first reception of the ball game comes at 2:22 left here in the third quarter and gives Alabama State a first down at the 25-yard line.
And it's an important first down for Alabama State. The one thing that they have to do is settle everything down. It's such a momentum shift. The crowd's going crazy. The team is going crazy. Settle the team down and get first downs.
So here's Kennedy. Late handoff. Goes to Bias, and this time Calvin Arnold is there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. You got to credit Calvin Arnold. He has been solid in this football game in the front for Grambling State.
Really has. He's played very well in the middle. And remember, he's going against Carlton, the all-SWAC center of Alabama State. So he's done an outstanding job on a very good ball player in the middle.
So Arnold will come out of the football game. They expect, I would assume, a passing situation for Alabama State. Second down and 10 for them. Bias, the lone setback with Kennedy. They fake the handoff to him. Kennedy looking for some room, still on his feet. 5-yard pickup, 12-yard pickup, first down. But he's got to be careful. It's been like that a lot of fumbles in here in the third quarter.
He's got to be careful, but he still has to be Darnell Kennedy, and that means making plays when the opportunities arise. This time, Grambling brings 4 from the left side of the screen. They brought 4 under pressure from one side. He knew he had room to the right side, to the left side, to take the ball down the field. So one thing's got thick for him. He cut it up and went back to the left.
As soon as he hit that ground, that ball came popping out. You talked about the inconsistency. As this time slid to Bias. Bias still in the room. Bias to the outside. He's at the 45, the 40. Finally got down. Right before he picks up big yards inside Grambling State territory. Down to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 28 yards.
George, they've tried the same play so many times with Darnell Kennedy handing the ball to Bias, but that's allowed him to get to him. This time it happens a little quicker with the direct set to Bias. He gets a nice spot on the outside, have nothing but open room. Needs pass to run.
Look at Carlton inside the center. The play that he makes on Antoine Lawrence. Good block.
That's what I was talking about. The all-SWAC center. To keep it. That quick snap to the halfback gives off the advantage on the inside.
Hey, if they come 2 tight ends on that, I won't run go. We'll go back to 8. I don't know before they go out there. Hey, so you got that. They giving us trips. That's line up. They got doubles. That's y'all too. Cade over there. And got the guy weak, or otherwise Cade in the middle. Like that. We'll run that ball.
You gotta love football talk because no matter what you hear, you still didn't hear anything.
I'll tell you what I did here is that when they go to 3 wide out to one side, they're going to keep Cade, their free safety, in the middle of the field or work him to the weak side, which means you may see some zero coverage with Cade out of the middle, which may open up the opportunity for Himes to go deep into the middle.
42 seconds later in the third. In the first meeting between these two teams, Alabama State scored 24 unanswered points in the third quarter on their way to a 45-38 over Grambling State. Grambling State is playing the favor in this one with 15 unanswered. They'll tie it up with 24. But the Hornets are threatening. Kennedy in the middle. Coleman, touchdown! It's Coleman, and that was actually B.J. Tiger with the catch. 36-yard play. And another flag is down in the end zone.
That's for celebrating, but that comes after an outstanding play by B.J. Tiger after the catch, making the catch once again with his hands so well, and then taking the ball into the end zone. But they came with the blitz. They're outside receivers, outside defensive backs, and they put their defensive backs and Pearson, Reed, especially in a 1-1 situation. That was Reed, the free safety, 1-1 against Tiger. The free safety lose that battle every time.
5 receptions for Tiger in this one for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I should have known better on that call because Coleman never moved that quick. But Tiger made the catch in a good one with his hands and turned it upfield and went in for the score. And after penalty for the celebration,
hey, look at anybody, man. I tell you what, that wasn't very smart. I know, man, because
and L.C. Cole's exactly right. That's not very smart. It's not disciplined championship football. When you get a score and get your team back in the ball game, don't pound it and make it worse by celebrating the end zone.
So the 35-yard attempt now is up. It's good. And a big-time for Thomas Elms, because you know, and we talked about it, you mentioned it a couple of times, extra points are important in this one.
When you saw Grambling forced to go for 2 just a moment ago because of the extra point in the first quarter, that time, that play, that kick was just a few feet away from being a disaster for B.J. Tiger and those other receivers who were celebrating in the end zone and forced that into a long extra point.
Tiger is one of the most versatile players on this team. He's played quarterback, he's played defensive back, but boy, he looks like a big-time receiver on this play.
So we talked about it after the catch, and once he got that ball, there was no one in center field. And then here's the mistake. He and Sanders just going after it and celebrating too much. You should know better in the championship game not to take this, drop the ball and go to the sideline.
And you know, you just hit a sore spot with me. Why can kids not celebrate? I don't have a problem with the taunts. If you get in my face, if you shake the ball at me, if you get in my face, fine, that's taunting. But if I'm just celebrating with my own teammate, how do I get a penalty on that?
Let me put it to you this way. Where do you draw a line? Because 1 minute you have 2 guys dancing, next minute you got guys orchestrating a little dance, 5-guy dance, and then you're bringing your lineman into it. You have to say in college football, and I think you're right, you drop the football, you act like you've been there, and that's a rule. That's just something I think that's a rule.
And that's we can agree to disagree on that situation. Here comes Shippen back and returns it out the 35-yard line, where Grambling State will be 1st and 10 with 23 seconds left here in the third.
Disagree with me all you want.
Let's go, Fando. 50 go, Fando. Howard, you the safety. 50 go, right? 50 go. Oh, Cade out there. Hey.
And the bottom line is to be conscious of what it's going to do to you as a team. But again, it does take away from, to me, I think it's very wrong. These are college kids. Let the kids have a little fun.
I understand.
So we go 4 receivers on the field now for Hines. His club trails by 7. Shanklin takes the handoff. Shanklin still on his feet and gets inside Alabama State territory down to the 45-yard line.
This is where a guy like Shanklin becomes so important because he's not like Hill. He's not a big bagger. He's not going to try to get you 2 yards out of dust. He's going to look for the seam. This time he looks for the seam, gets a nice block there by the offensive line, and then gets into the secondary. And once he's in space, he's very dangerous.
And a very nice pick for Shanklin on that play. We have a timeout on the field. Time will charge to Alabama State. 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. This has been an exciting contest. They are now starting to do what we thought they would do from the start, which is at each other, come up with big hits back and forth. Start off a little sluggish. But lately, both teams have gotten at it.
The one thing you have to be really impressed with is the conditioning of both of these ball clubs. Late season, they both played at a very high level all game long.
Hey, why some kind of trick quarterback, throwback, or some old crazy stuff, quarterback, throwback, or some old reverse? Hey, make some stand on lanes. All right, now, hey, go. Hey.
So Alabama State was forced to take a timeout for what it looked like on the field. It looks like they first called the timeout, but then tried to wait off, and by then it was too late. And you want to keep your timeouts, I would assume, in a game like this, especially if you're going neck and neck with Grambling State.
Oh boy, no question about it. The way this game has been so far, you want to have as many things in your pocket as you need at the end of this ball game.
10 seconds left in our third quarter. Himes, that quarterback draw. LC said look out for it. And Himes can get to the outside. He's chased down by the linebacker, Jamie Graham. That'll end our third quarter. So 3 quarters under our belt. Alabama State, champs of the East, lead this one 31-4. It's Johnson along with Doug and Chris. And see, I'm glad we're back here on camera because Don was about to take me out. He's upset with me because I want to see a celebration. No celebration.
B.J. Tiger's been in the end zone how many times this year? 6 times. And the ball the official and go to the sideline, celebrate on the sideline.
Celebrate on the sidelines.
He's guarantees that the game
they're not worried about where you got to go. They're out there back in a football game, and we got a good one. It's 31-4.
This game has been everything's been built to be in this rack.
It really has been. And Alabama State now looking to make a stop on Grambling State, who needs some push to get back into it. And look at Hines, escaping pressure, still on his feet. Got a spot there. He was able to pick up a couple yards in a situation where it looked like he was going to lose 15.
And it's just a great escape, especially for a guy who has a bad ankle. And you wonder what happened to Deshaun Gilliam, the nose tackle, had a piece of that bad ankle and wasn't able to bring him down. You heard about giving people the dead leg, he gave him the ankle.
Bobby Malone was the guy who was able to make the jump a little harder on Himes and run him out of bounds. But not before the young man picked up about 4 yards on the play. That makes it 3rd down, now 6. It's underway here in 4th quarter. Single setback, Shanklin. Himes didn't need him. Himes going to run. Himes getting the 1st down inside the 25-yard line. As he picks up about 8 yards on the play.
Himes is starting to take some responsibility on himself at the time. He hasn't been throwing ball on time. He was a little late. Look, he's thinking about throwing right here. He starts to go, nope, you know what? I'm going to take him, try to get the 1st down on my own. A good decision for a guy who hasn't gotten that rhythm in the short passing game.
Meanwhile, Robert Malone again coming back to make the play. This guy has been unbelievable. Number 86 for Alabama State. All the field. 4 receivers. Single stack is Kendrick Shanklin. Himes going to the end zone. Big time came by Ellis Spears. I thought that was a little too far away from him. Look at the play. He wants to celebrate. He just can't.
He's been there so many times. He knows how to behave.
34-yard touchdown play. He wants to celebrate. He can't.
He's hurt. He probably landed right on that football. That type of catch and knocked the wind out of himself. He wasn't smiling. He was gasping for air.
Well, how did he get under that football? It looked like it was overthrown.
It was a tremendous effort. You talk about the timing in the short passing game, but timing in the deep ball is equally as important. Himes throws this ball at the right time. He releases it now. Don't think if he's even, he's leaving. The ball is in the air even before he got past Hall, the corner.
Ellis Spears, 6'3", 180-pound senior from Zachary, Louisiana. Averages 22 yards every time he catches the ball. That best among all the top 10 receivers in the conference. And showing his big play capabilities right there. Bring the Tigers within 1. Heat up here, the SWAC championship. Grambling State looking to tie things up after that touchdown reception by Ellis Spears.
Just a big-time catch by Ellis Spears.
34 yards. And the kick by Brian Morty is good, and we are tied again at 31 with 14-10 left in the football game. Just a tremendous effort by Ellis Spears, the senior.
You know, he's such listless catcher in the first half. We saw some plays that didn't look like they were going after the football. This time, Ellis Spears, this is what you call a sellout for the ball. Leaves his feet, excellent catcher. For 20 Hall, you'd like to have perfect coverage on him, but there's just nothing you can do about that. Outstanding football play all around.
What's up, back in Zachary, baby?
6 touchdown reception for Spears on the season.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, all right, now, don't kick the ball right into the left. Let's go, hey. Let's go, river return. River return. We're going to try to take it to the field. River return. Take it to the riverside. Here we go. River return.
So they're expecting the kickoff to go left. One would assume that they're going to put their best return man back there. That maybe Michigan Sanders, see Doug Williams celebrate.
And look where he's on the sideline, where you're supposed to celebrate. How long you want to go through this?
Not long.
Because you know what? I mean, if they get that penalty and they don't get that point, they're done right now.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm not disagreeing with the fact that it would have hurt them. I'm just disagreeing with the fact that they're penalized for having a little fun. I'm sorry to make $1 million return. Anyway, here comes the return. Alabama State on the return, and that return man for Alabama State, number 33, was Black. And it looks like another flag on the field. That's another thing we've seen a lot of. That takes away the celebrations. Is the flags all over the place.
We got holding on the return team. Stop building.
Who's doing the hold?
That's what I want to see. Who's doing the holding?
Hey, who did this?
what? Now, I just finished talking to your boy Ellis Spears. He's finally got the wind knocked out of him. He says he's ready to get back in this game. But I want to talk about the color scheme. Grambling came out in black. That is their winning color scheme, and they said they were going to do good today, and look at what they're doing. I want to see what the rest of the game was. Back up to you, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. And they try the handoff. Alabama State goes to Larry Bias, and it goes nowhere thanks to Dante New making another play at interior line. Alabama State penalized in this one 18 times. The first meeting against Grambling State, they were penalized 21 times for 192 yards. You don't win games making mistakes, and yet they seem to stay in them. As that pass is batted down, intended for tight end from Darnell Kennedy. Chris Coleman was your intended receiver. Because of the incomplete pass, that now sets up a third down situation.
And Darnell Kennedy said the one thing they had to do in this ball game to repeat beating Grambling to find out the mistakes they made and improve them, and we're on pace for another 21 penalties.
So it's third down now and 10. Kennedy, Tom, and out of the hands of Chris Coleman. Now it's fourth down. Grambling State with the momentum will get the football back, and will get back in good field position.
And Alabama State's just walking off the field right now. You can see that they spent a little bit too much energy being excited about the lead that they had on the ball game.
Why are they on the same side?
And they're going to need a good kick from David Beckford, first team all-SWAC punter, who, as I said, first meeting at 4 punts and averaged 53 yards per punt. His longest went 68 yards in that first meeting. They call another timeout with 13:18 left here in our football game.
Two major blows in a row, Coach. Where Coleman at? Where Coleman at? Coleman's off the damn field.
Those major blows he's talking about, missed passes. We'll be back. A lot of people been deep in their own territory at the 11-yard line, and they need a good punt. David Beckford, who's averaging 55 yards per punt prior to this one in the game. And again, another good roll. And when you can get a punter who can take you deep out of your end zone and make it tough for the opponents, put them back in their territory, that's not bad, but that's just a 38-yard.
And that was probably worst punt all day, but he got a good roll. Had Shanklin been a little further up, about 10 yards up, it was a returnable punt because it was a low-line drive.
So here comes Grambling State with their last 3 possessions.
And there's a good sign for Grambling. Number 50, Larry Matavia, back in the ball game at center.
22 points under 3 minutes of play. One was a 3-play drive, another 3-play drive for 44 seconds, and a 5-play drive for a minute 15. All resulting touchdowns. And here comes Shanklin again with a big-time carry, good for close to 14 yards.
Shanklin up about a yard and a half in the backfield, so he gets to the secondary very quickly. It's a quick handoff, a nice little trap block in the middle. And Cade, number 19, the free safety, should not be making these tackles at this point in the ball game.
Pageantry here, the SWAC championship game. It's interesting, we're seeing a lot of Shanklin who gets the handoff again. Not a lot of Brad Hill, but Shanklin still on his feet. Shanklin inside the 25, still running the football and making moves inside the 20. And almost broke that tackle.
And that's why you're getting a lot of Shanklin. They're not trying to bang it out. They're trying to get a quick trap in the middle and get him into the secondary. And once he does, he is so dangerous because he has quick feet, but also a burst. And showing a little bit of power right here. Gets a quick little trap block in the middle. And once he gets in the secondary, knocks his own guy Spears over. Showing a little bit of power with the ball in his hand.
27-yard pickup for Kendrick Shanklin. He's averaging 8 yards a carry, coming in his longest of 44 yards. First and 10. Now the power. That is Hill. The power down the 1-yard line. And that's who we were for. Brad Hill, the second leading carrier in the SWAC coming in. 955 yards rushing prior to coming into this one.
And it's really the same play they ran with Shanklin, this time with a little bit more power. But both backs doing an outstanding job.
And with that carry right there, Brad Hill now gains over 1,000 yards and becomes the first Tiger since Eric Gant rushed for 1,000 back in 1993. Gant actually rushed for over 1,200 yards that year, but now they have another 1,000-yard rusher in Brad Hill, number 33. As you saw on the TV, leaving the field, must still be shaken up from that earlier injury.
Last time he left the field, the next play was touchdown by Grambling.
First and goal. Here's Hill. Touchdown, Grambling. Brad Hill goes in for his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. That leads the conference.
As we expected, George, this game's probably come down to the team that has the ball last. What offenses right now begin to make things happen?
Looking up Williams. Now starting to hug his players. Showing that love he has for Tigers. As Hill goes in for 1 yard out. Now Grambling State has the lead. The kick is good by Ryan Morgan as Grambling State has their first lead of the ball game. 38-31 over Alabama State. The Hornets jumped all over the Tigers, and yet Grambling stayed persistent. Didn't panic. Get the ball on the ground. Did the little small things to get them back in the game. Got the turnovers, and voila, 11-21 left in the game, and they now by 7.
And we talked about the turnovers taking the advantage of the big plays and get the big plays. And this is how you capitalize on a nice drive times. Knew it right away. So blocking in front and knew that the team had a chance to get the ball in the end zone.
He's taunting. He should get a penalty on that play.
He should get a penalty on that. Dance loud.
Dancing in football.
Even the Tiger dance.
They get knocked out. 38-31 in Grambling State. Keep in mind the Tigers were your champions last year as they beat Alabama A&M in this championship game at the same field. Doug Williams in his 4th year looking for his 2nd straight SWAC title. Unbelievable job he has done. And they just completed their longest drive for the second half, a minute 44. So here comes Alabama State on the return. With the football, bringing it back, Robert Long takes it out. Close to the 30-yard line, will be 1st and 10, Alabama State. Well, today's fantastic game is brought to you by Xbox. The future of video games arrived. Check it out at Xbox.com. And here to play, Ellis Spears laying out and making a big-time reception to the touchdown. That tied the ball game up at 31 apiece. Since then, Grambling State has scored 7 more, taking the lead. As Alabama State comes right back, screen pass was intended for Larry Bias. It was almost picked off by Massey. Travis Massey has been very active here, too. Number 11 for Grambling State. He wasn't even seen as a starter at the top of the game.
Yeah, he's the nickel, and he's been covering the inside receiver, full receiver set, so he's in position blitz many times during the game.
Shotgun formation for Kennedy. He's your SWAC player of the year. And he's being flipped out of the pocket on the run, and the pass was too high, intended for Eugene Johnson.
He had a shot at Johnson on that play. He tried to drop it right over Brown, the corner.
So now if you're Darnell Kennedy, you've been a quarterback and in this situation a long time, say you're the quarterback's coach. What are you saying to Darnell Kennedy on the side? You know he's a big-time player, but you obviously need to calm him down, I would assume.
Right, and the first thing you need to tell him is to make sure he remembers that right now there's 10 minutes, 50 seconds left in the game. Plenty of time to get things done, settle a little team down, and put their drive now to keep that Grambling out on the sideline.
Off the blitz, drops it off to his tight end. And Coleman makes the catch. He's short of a first down by almost 6 yards. So now, 4th down situation. And if you're Alabama State, as you just said, 10:49 left on the clock. Plenty of time to kick the football, make a defensive stop, and get back in this thing.
Absolutely right. As you mentioned, Grambling's longest drive has been a minute 44, so you know they have that quick ability. With Alabama State right now, you want to sustain those drives in the short passing game. Going back to the comments in the beginning of the ball game, 3rd down conversion becomes even more critically important at this point of the ball game.
Beckford will punt the football again. Shanklin is back, standing at about his 25-yard line, and a another flag on the field.
It's been about 2 minutes since the last
Red
penalty.
ball start. The offense. First down.
Well, when you get these two kinds of teams in football, two high-scoring teams, you know you're apt to get records. The combination of these two scores is now a SWAC championship record, 69 total points between these two teams, both teams averaging 37 apiece. Grambling State scored 29 here in the second half. Alabama State 14. Beckford's punt.
A good one.
Driving Shanklin back as he takes his 19-yard line. Trying to get to the outside. And the defense catching up on him. He's trying to drag down Jamal Fletcher. 45-yard punt. 6-yard return. As we have 2.5 minutes left here in the football game. Grambling State the lead. Grambling State possession.
This program is brought to you by X.
Welcome back to Legion Field, Birmingham, and Grambling State Tiger fans starting to feel it a little bit as they have the lead and possession of the football, and the clock continues to roll, and you can't let that become an adversary for you if you're Alabama State. The only way you can prevent that is come up with a defensive stop on this possession.
I was talking to Andre Ward, the defensive back coach for Alabama State prior to the game. He said Grambling likes to get on top and then grind out with their run game later in the ball game. So they're expecting Grambling in this ball game, even though the score is close, to try to grind out in this run game. So you're right, they have to come over and stop the short pass, the short run game.
Shanklin with 79 yards rushing prior to that carry, picks up another 7 yards on the run and a first down.
And what I mean by the short run game, there's no trickery here. They're not trying to run long plays or toss sweeps or student body right and left. They're just giving a quick hand up the middle, occasionally with the trap. And Shanklin's been doing so much on his own in the secondary.
He really did. That last play, he had to find some by himself as he ran into one of his own teammates. 1st and 10. Ball's at the 37-yard line. 9:25 in roll is the clock. Hines will throw the ball downfield, looking for Highshaw. And Highshaw couldn't make the catch.
Once again, pretty good coverage by the Alabama State secondary.
Ray Butler was your defensive back.
Butler was right there with Highshaw on just a overthrow ball, but that's going to loosen up this defense. After you start running the ball in the middle, run the ball in the middle, throw the ball deep, that loosens up the Alabama State defense. Highshaw has him by just a step, but still, Butler's in good position. He just has to stay on his feet, but good position to play.
2nd down and 10. Incomplete passes stop the clock. While Alabama State a little light. Shanklin on a delayed handoff. But inside, it's left near the 42-yard line. When you think about this ball game, at one time the Hornets were in control at 15, and then tragedy.
And this took a lot of the life out of this. Talk about the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. And he turns the ball over 2 times. It took a lot of energy out of this.
You cannot have fumbles and still win this football game. Doug said they had to avoid the big plays, but he probably was also thinking we need to create some turnovers, and it's quite on that. 3rd down now for Grambling State. Big stop. They can't make it because Washington makes a catch, gets the first down, and takes it inside Alabama State territory.
Talked about 3rd down stops on defense, and this time Alabama State comes with the Hines reads it. He's just going to stand up and throw the hot to Washington because he reads the blitz, which forces Cade, the free safety, to come out of position and make the stop.
Another 1st down pickup for Grambling State. Grambling State, #1 in black college football, coming in 9-1, 6-1 in the conference. Their only loss of the season coming on November 3rd against Alabama State. Robert Malone makes the play. You talk about Kendrick Shanklin. He wasn't even the featured back coming in to this contest. He has provided them a spark and done some great things.
He really has. And you're talking about a guy so good in the return game, knows how to run the ball in the field, in space. And when they realize they can get him into the secondary like this on quick track, he has the ability to make people miss and the speed to turn the corner in the field.
Shanklin now 5 carries for 90 yards. Hines, a dangerous play, and it may be intercepted. Ronald Dillon came up with the football, but the official is going to say it touched the ground first. But how about Randy Hines? That was a danger.
I don't know what Randy Hines, and I think Doug Williams is thinking the same thing. What are you thinking about? You get a little pressure like that, coming from behind, you tuck it down, you put it on the arm. Take the loss.
Dillon, just a freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, almost had his 2nd interception of the season.
Hines tried to put that ball underneath his shoulder. Don't know what he was thinking. Might have been looking for either an interference or...
Once again, Cochran was the man applying the pressure. He has been outstanding for Alabama State on that outside linebacker position. Stopping the play. Alabama State really has turned things up when it comes to running football here in the second half. They rushed 26 yards in the first half. They've rushed for 131 here in the second. That has allowed Hines to find more time throwing the football. Now they got to be more conscious of that running game, I would assume. So here times again. Good protection, and the pass is cut by Spears. Close to another first down. The clock continues to roll. 7 minutes left in the football game.
I'm showing outstanding arm strength on that throw. He had the corner cutting underneath that play. The long throw to the field. He put heat on it.
38-31 is our score. The clock continues to roll. 6:45 and counting. And now you're going to just see Grambling State take their time. They don't care what they come away with. They'd like to get 3, at least 3.
We saw Randy Hines put his hands away from each other. That's just the director. Stretch the clock.
They give it to Shanklin this time. Whistle on the play, and that's going to be a delay of ball game. They're going to move them back. And that's the last thing they need to stop the clock with penalties.
In this penalty-ridden ball game, this is time as a leader that Hines has to talk to his team in the huddle and say, the 2 things you cannot afford at this ball game, if you're Grambling, are turnovers, 1, obviously turnovers, number 1, and penalties that are going to push you back. They're getting into the goal range now. They have an excellent kicker in Morgan.
Sean Bliss, come on.
They need to keep momentum down the field. Don't lose any ground.
Now they want to sit on the football. They've had it 4 minutes and 51 seconds. The clock's still rolling, as you can see, approach the 6-minute mark. Now keep in mind, Alabama State has that quick strike ability. It took them 23 seconds to score in the football game. But they've got to get the football back, and that means the defense has to make stops. Here comes Brad Hill, the bruiser, up the middle, to the 30-yard line, and about 5 yards shy of another first down. And another flag on the field, by the way. That doesn't surprise, does it?
Not at all. And this is when a guy like Brad Hill becomes so important to your ball club, because he can wear those guys and make them miss, but we'll run over guys in the second.
From the preliminary look, it might be an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. The offense.
And that's moving back.
And that's what Williams is so angry about. This is what I'm talking about. Settle your ball down, and don't let Alabama State talk you into any penalty that's going to put your team in the reverse mode.
Good thing it wasn't back from the line of scrimmage. It's marked back from where the play ended. So another penalty charge, Grambling State. Look at the penalty yards, unbelievable. Second down, 20 yards to go for a first. Keep it on the ground to the Hill. Hill is stopped immediately. The line of scrimmage, Marcus Wilcox, sophomore from Mobile, is the one making the play.
Which this is what those penalties do to you. Now you're looking at a 3rd and 20, almost 3rd and 22. Way too far to go. They've taken themselves out of field goal range and taken some momentum away from their team. by being undisciplined.
Now, defensively, what are you thinking if you're Alabama State? Do you let the receivers have 10 yards in front of you, give some cushion, not worry too much about a field goal attempt? What do you have to be concerned about?
You can't worry about field goal attempt right now. You just have to worry about stopping him. Looks like you're going to give him special, but just remember, you have 20 yards for the first down. Keep him in front of you.
They've completed that conversion 30% of the time, going deep. Pass was intended for Ellis Spears, but going this time. Defensively, Antonio Hill there for the coverage. That'll force a 4th down and 20 with 4.5 minutes left in the football game.
Well, Antonio Hall was in the right place. Hill was in the right place. He was 5 yards in front of the receiver, right where he should have been. Don't allow a home run ball and keep everything else in front of you.
So now they'll expect a big punt from Yanez, the freshman. He was averaged 44.5 yards per punt in this ball game. Sean Sanders, who's your deep back, he's standing at around his 10-yard line. That big old linebacker in the football. And another whistle. And if this is delay, that moves them further back. And you don't want to give Darnell Kennedy good field position.
You know, if I'm Doug Williams right now, this is probably as calm as we've seen Doug all day. I'm very unhappy about this. No matter win, lose, or draw, I'm going to go into the locker room after this football game, and I'm going to blow a gasket on this series of downs right here, because this is just purely undisciplined football, undisciplined play on the field, driving them out of field goal range, and now giving Alabama State good field position, or better field position, with 4.5 minutes left in the ball game.
Sanders was standing at his 10. He's now standing at his 20, awaiting the punt. Not a bad kick. Sanders, their catch at the 16-yard line. That's where Alabama will take over, 1st and 10. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left for Alabama State to drive the lane and tie this up. Last time Alabama State drove the football was 86 yards, took it in 40 seconds, and they got 7. And they got their hands full again, as they're going to have to drive the football this time, 84 yards. For 6 and a PAT, but a delay. And how do you have a delay coming out of a timeout?
I don't think L.C. Cole knows.
They shoot themselves in the foot.
Getting a good look at L.C. Cole, head coach of Alabama State. Now 1st and 15. Kenny, playing room, back and forth, right up receiver, and the ball is out. Eugene Johnson, and he takes it inside Grambling State territory. 51-yard play, takes it down the Grambling State 38-yard line.
You wonder why Don Kennedy is the strikeout player of the year, because he keeps his eyes down the field and finds his man Johnson wide open down the field, because he kept his eye down the field. He had room to run, scrambling out of the backfield, but kept his eyes up the field and made the big play.
And then it froze Spears, and that allowed Johnson to get away. This time Kennedy is going to keep it. Another flag on the play as he picks up about 5 yards, but I got a feeling it's going to come back.
Yeah, you're going to see a hold on Stevenson, number 79.
Holding. And you heard LC just a minute ago say it's ourselves in the foot.
Stevenson could have let the guy go.
He's talking about left guard Stevenson, right guard Stevenson I talked about. After Kennedy had left the backfield, Stevenson did the pancake. Sometimes they'll call that a hole in the pancake if they see bumps outside the shoulders.
That's easy for a coach to say he could have let him go. You get back to the films in the first 3 years. Why did you let him go?
Stevenson doesn't know where Kenny is. He has a man on him.
Eugene Johnson is the man you think they would go to. He has 2 catches, both for 51 yards, and a third for a total of 106 yards in the game. 1st and 15. This time the pass goes off the hands of his tight end, Chris Coleman. that was actually a 10-yard penalty that they incurred on the Astros, so it's got to be second down and 20.
Yeah, it's a big penalty. You go back to, as we talked about earlier, the mistakes and the penalties, pushing things out of field. They were just getting into range. And again, a field goal does help you because there's plenty of time left in this ball game, just under 3.5 minutes. So all of what you take in your own mouth right now cost you big time.
The penalty situation, unbelievable for both teams. As Kennedy lobs this one interesting. And he was before his tight end Coleman, and Coleman had 3 times around him, and it looks like one of them committed a pass interference.
I'm not too big on this big pass interference. There were a lot of black shirts in the area. Everyone has an opportunity for the ball. It just looks like feet get caught up there a little bit. But that time, free safety.
Denmark Reed. So Denmark Reed came in and bumped Coleman a little too soon and took the penalty.
Exactly. I thought they were feet, but Reed just gives him a little bit of the back. And what Reed has to do is go for the football. He had a shot interception. Go for the football. They won't call it on him.
So now we got to figure out how they're going to take care of this. I guess they're going to start it from the line of scrimmage, knock it off 15 yards after that, and it'll now make it second down and 5 or third down.
It's automatic first down.
First down.
All right.
And more than anything, that's the most important part of that penalty, was the automatic first down.
I can't tell.
So it was second down and 20 after the pass interference. It's now first down.
Exactly, and that's more important than the yards, in my opinion, because you're keeping their offense on the field.
Kennedy is 7 of 17 here in the second half as a receiver, almost intercepted. He saw one guy streaking down the sidelines. I don't know what it was intended for Tiger, number 14. But he had a receiver in Johnson 10 yards behind him.
I tell you, I'm not sure who he was throwing the ball to. He lucked out on that play that ball sailed wide and out of bounds because there was great coverage downfield.
3:10 left in the football game. 5 receivers into the pattern of Kennedy. Good back draw, and look at him run it up the middle and pick up 9 yards on the play. Finally brought down by Byron Anderson, number 35, but not till he comes close to another first down.
Well, he's going to break a tackle from Massey. Number 11 right there is going to get it a hand on him coming in on the blitz. But then he just keeps his feet moving like a fullback and gets an extra yard or two, putting him in 3rd and 1 situation.
Good 4th down territory, I would assume, right? You know, you're saying, no, don't call a timeout. You want him to run this play.
Absolutely.
They give it inside to the fullback.
Okay, come on, baby.
Looks like that was Casey Sellers with the carry.
Come on, busy.
And it was, and he's going to be close to a first down. Well, it depends on where they mark it. Because he is laying right at the first down marker, which would be the 23-yard line, and you can see the mark, and that was kind of a tough mark for them.
Yeah, he got a left foot up on that, but they're still going to give him the first down.
I think I would measure. Would you scream for a measurement if you're done?
Yeah, I would, but I don't think that's much of a call right now.
2:15 and counting. Sorry, Don. Blitzing. Kennedy. Pass is complete to Johnson. Johnson makes the catch. Inside the 15-yard line to 14.
And Brown giving Johnson a tremendous amount of room there on the corner. And Kennedy pulled that thing up twice. And pumped, and Johnson bobbed it before Brown even showed up. Johnson has been the big guy all day long, so they don't want him to get a quick strike into the end.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Alabama State trailing by 7. They try that handoff. Actually, they center it back. The football in the huddle, and Grambling State covers.
There is a point. We have to say to the team, we can't afford turnovers and we can't afford the penalties. And both of these teams, as L.C. Cole has said, have shot themselves in the foot with these kinds of mistakes.
Do you not want the ball in the hands of your best player in these instances?
I don't think you have to worry about that because you had fumbles by Kennedy earlier. But this is a case, first of all, of another slow whistle because Howard was going nowhere in the middle. 1:56
left in the contest. Now Grambling State keeping the football on the ground. That time the ball was handed off to Michael Young.
have to use it this probably next week.
You hear him talking about needing to use his timeout, and you also heard him telling Cade, his safety, to get on the line of scrimmage. They want to stuff him right here.
Young is stuffed by Earl Cochran, and now Alabama State used that last time out. They're not going to use the timeout. So now they're going to try to stop right here as they get the trophies ready. Grambling State in great position for their second straight SWAC championship. And the clock continues to roll. Doug Williams keeping an eye on it in his 4th year here at Grambling State. Of course, one of the greatest quarterbacks in history. The Grambling football as Michael Young gets to the outside and gets a first down. And the game, you can say, is over.
There he is.
They're hoping to make that stop and call a timeout. But Michael Young picks up the first down. The clock continues to roll. We'll take the timeout and be right back. Going on the sideline of the Grambling State Tigers as you get a good look at Doug Williams, and you know they want to set up. They want to dump a Gatorade bottle all over that Gatorade water cooler, and yet I think he caught on to the guys.
Doug's been around way too long. They just went one the assistant coach, so they know Doug's way too savvy for that.
So Doug Williams watching the clock run out. Nelsie Cole is going to wish him congratulations. As these two guys meet in center field. Nelsie Cole and Doug Williams both done a tremendous job this year with their respective programs, but for the 6th straight season, Doug Williams wins the championship.
His team hung on in great fashion. They were down, they lost momentum, but they hung on to the ball game and showed a tremendous amount of class coming back.
As for Darnell Kennedy, one of the great quarterbacks in Division I AA. Here's a look at him getting a hug from Doug Williams right there. Ends his career at ASU, 19 of 29 from 286 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And a guy who definitely should be on his way to a great game.
Standing by Doug Williams right now is our own Joe Claire. Joe, what's going on?
It's hot down here. It's off the chain. Back to back, Doug. How you feel?
All along we had a chance to pull it up. Got a big target on our back, but we're here.
What's next, Doug? Come on, we know what's happening next.
I guess wait on the Black College All-American team.
All right, there you have it. Back up to you, George.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. Doug, of course, wants to get back with his team and congratulate them as, once again, they are the SWAC champions after knocking off Alabama State 38-31. Once again, it has been a pleasure working all year long with you, Don McPherson and Joe Claire. I'm George Johnson. Keep in mind, next is Comic View. You've been watching Black College Football on BET. Good night, everybody.